Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream. Whoever's watching this in retrospect. It is pretty cold today. But I'll mention all that when more people join the stream. Let's see if we get some nice conversations. That's what we want. Hey, Dandelion Gum, nice to see you. How can you hear me okay? Hey, Pia, nice to see you also. Awesome. Sloth, hey, people are coming in. Nice to see you guys. Hey, Gray Sky, nice to see you. Martin, always a pleasure. You guys want to try a social experiment?
No, thank you.
I just asked you something. Nah, never mind. Did we pass? He said. He asked. No, you have failed. Can everybody hear? Oh, you said sound good. Okay. Yeah. So it is a bit cold today, by the way. In the morning it was 0 degrees and it felt like -4. And now it's maybe 3 degrees and it feels like -1. I don't know. It's not very windy where I'm at right now, but it will get windier later. So let's see. If we don't get enough people, we might have to move because there's not a lot of people passing by. So let's see how that goes. Martin says it looks well cold. Yeah, it is pretty cold. Yeah, I actually have my warm socks today. The socks that are electrically warmed. But I think one of the batteries disconnected and I can't really reconnect it. So whatever, it's okay. Hey Linda, nice to see you here. I wanted to do some outreach yesterday, but yesterday it was wet. So yesterday it was wet, but it wasn't cold. Today it's cold. Tomorrow, well, actually, it's gonna be cold for a couple of days. So for the rest of the week, no better weather, sadly. Let's see. We'll give it 10 minutes, and if nobody comes in 10 minutes, we'll move. You guys want to try a social experiment? Hi. Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's fine.
What's your name?
Amy,
Amy, nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
nice to meet you.
Can you come a little closer so that you're in view? Nice. Perfect. Okay, so how do you feel about animals? Amy, you said, right?
Yeah. I love animals.
You love animals?
Yeah.
What specifically do you love about them?
Specifically dogs, man's best friend in the
Okay.
house and everything like.
Oh, nice. Do you have any pets of your own?
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay. Do you think animals deserve moral consideration?
Yeah.
As in, they should be considered morally and not be exploited or used?
Yeah.
How do you
I think it's difficult to say.
Yeah. Go on.
Meat eating and
Yeah.
all that. I definitely eat meat.
Yeah. So how do you feel about animal exploitation?
I don't think anyone feels good about it.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think it's a very hypocritical stance that everybody takes. That we love dogs and we
Yeah.
like the pets that we keep in our house,
Yeah.
and then we'll go and have a steak. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
I think it's very detached.
Yeah. And understand that. And I mean, you got to it. Yeah, that's pretty much where the social experiments is leading us to, right? To the animals that we exploit, right? The animals that we use for food, for clothing, for entertainment, and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm assuming you said you participate in this, and I'm not judging. I used to be part of it too. But do you think you can be against exploiting animals while simultaneously paying for it?
Not at a hard stance, no.
No.
I think
no.
if people say that they are, then they're
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah, exactly. So what is your stance? Are you actually against it or are you lying?
In between.
In between?
I was vegetarian for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Dipped out of it a little bit.
Okay.
I can see myself going back.
Okay. So you're against animal exploitation. You see yourself as going vegetarian. Do you know, by the way, I'm vegan. Do you know why I'm vegan and not vegetarian, for example?
All sorts of other exploitation, like milk and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Milk is also inherently exploitative, right? Like animals are still exploited for milk. And just to go through a little bit through it, because a lot of people don't really realize. Why do you think cows produce milk?
because they are forced through breeding and then they.
Oh, so you know the
Yeah,
forceful
yeah.
breeding. You know you know what happens to their babies after they're born.
No, I don't.
So they're separated from their mother so that they don't drink the milk, so that the farmer can sell the milk or control how much milk they have. If they're born male, they don't produce milk. So what do you think happens to them?
Meat.
Yeah, they get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if they're born female, same fate as their mother. Every year forcefully impregnated until 6 to 8 years, when the farmer can no longer impregnate them with ease, and then they kill them, and they can live up to 25 years. So a quarter of their life spent raped every year, having their baby stolen from them, and then.
Have you had anything interesting to say, like
Yeah.
today, from other people?
Oh, I just started. I just
just
started
started?
like I don't know, 5 minutes ago, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to continue participate? Do you want to continue supporting? Like, because obviously, like, I know that a lot of us aren't really aware of the things that we're supporting because these industries, they do have a financial incentive to keep it that way. But as I bring it to your attention now, as you already know kind of half of it, don't you think it's important that you get informed and that you no longer participate in it?
Yeah.
Right? Because if it were dogs, would you still participate? No. No, okay.
Anyone that says they would.
Say that again?
Anyone that says that they would.
I mean,
Not-
there's people who disregard also dogs and
Yeah.
cats, like, yeah.
The whole if you had to kill it yourself.
Yeah,
would you-
yeah,
would you
yeah.
eat?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely not.
But that's not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about everyday choices where we have readily available options to choose to put animals into slaughterhouses, to choose to force breed them. Don't you think that's cruel?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not a cruel person, right? You're not. You don't want to be cruel to animals, right? They're innocent, right?
Spreading good work.
Okay, so how many more animals should be exploited for you before you make this change?
None.
Okay, you gotta go vegan. Let me just give you some resources. I appreciate you stopping by. What was your name? Amy, you said?
Yeah.
Amy. Here's a card. I think one cool thing that you have there, if you scan this QR code, you'll have Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan. And if you want to learn more about all the practices in animal agriculture, I recommend you either watch Dominion. It's kind of gruesome, or The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. You have both of them there.
Cool. Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay. It felt more like she just said what she wanted me to hear, not necessarily that she was actually believing it. But who knows, You never know. And I'm not very good apparently at reading intention from people, so we'll see. Yeah. Nice one. Amy chose compassion. Yeah, let's hope so. I feel like she did say something there. I also have Amsterdam maps on me, so we'll see. At least she's thinking about it, says Linda. Yeah, exactly. At least she's thinking about it. At least, at the end of the day, I feel like, sometimes as animal rights activists, sometimes our role is also to, like, make some changes, right? In the sense that maybe the people we interact with won't go vegan, but maybe they'll make some changes, which in turn obviously translates to better results in the end. But yeah. Gaz, this guy looks like he needs a good steak. Yeah, Gaz, it's interesting that you can look at me and all of a sudden assess my needs, and you must have some special skills to do that, and because not a lot of people are capable of doing that, including doctors. Doctors usually just ask for blood work, and yeah, they do inspections and they ask questions, but you just take one look at me and you say you need a good steak, right? You need to exploit and slaughter an animal today. That's what you need. You need to exploit and slaughter an animal and put that whole result through your mouth hole. I doubt it. I doubt it. Mark Barr says, don't lie, Chip. Of course, you need a good Satan steak. I actually had a Satan steak just before coming here. So, yeah, there you go. Hey, DLTN, nice to see you here. I played Dr. Mario once. I am a nutrition expert. Yeah, funny. The funny thing is even doctors aren't well enough trained in nutrition, so yeah. somebody coming in saying, "Oh, you look like you need, you look like you need to put some dead corpse in your body, because if you put some dead corpse in your body, you will look more to my liking." Sure, buddy, if you say so. Which sign are you using today? The same one. Alexandra's gonna come in 2 weeks, and she's gonna bring some new signs, and we're gonna try those. But yeah, I'm always just attracting the people with this one, and I do have another social experiment that I'd like to try with people, but let's see, because there's not a lot of people here, and yeah, I'll just see how it feels like when I meet a person who's stopping by. To anyone feeling like you're being shamed by this dude, all that matters is what your nutritionist says. Everyone requires different dietary needs, so don't listen to this. Listen, Devin, I'm actually studying to be a certified nutritionist, so... Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Of course.
What's your name?
I'm Fearle.
Fearle.
Yeah, Fearle. Yeah.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you, Fearle. So, I'm Chip.
Yeah.
Okay, so my social experiment is about animals. How do you feel about animals?
I like animals.
You like
Yeah.
animals. What is it that you like about them?
Yeah, it depends per animal, of course. Like if they all have their own character, and I think they're very pretty.
When you say they have their own character, do you mean they have their own personality?
Yeah, something like that. Like I think lions are like, and all the cats are alike, and then at the same time, like dolphins and all the sea animals have their own character as well. So
Do you
I think
do you think I'm sorry for interrupting you. Do you think that all cats are the same, or do you think that cats have different
I think
wants?
I think they have the same wants, and I think they do the same to survive. But like per cat, for example, they have their own character. Like per household, you have the sweet one, you have the old one, you have the.
So they
like-
still have some personality
yeah,
of their own.
but I
right?
think like overall their character is like almost the same.
Oh, they also have
Yeah.
common characteristics, just
Yeah.
like we do
Yeah,
in
of course,
humans,
yeah.
right? Like women have common characteristics, men have common characteristics. Doesn't mean that none of us have personalities
Yeah,
or that we're the same or
exactly like
something like
that,
that. Right?
yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, do you think what do you think? How do you feel about exploiting animals? Do you think that's okay to do?
Could you explain exploiting?
Yeah,
My English is like.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for asking. So, exploiting generally means using them for your own benefit
Yeah.
and perhaps against their will.
I do not think that's correct. Like we don't even do that with humans because we think that's inhumane. So why we would do it with animals?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And can you think of a situation where you might be supporting a system of exploitation of animals?
Like, I'm a vegetarian. I don't even eat meat or fish, and I
Yeah.
don't wear fur. So I try to avoid all of that. But I don't know. I think still a lot of big companies use or profit from animals, from exploiting animals, which is very bad, of course. Yeah.
Do you think dairy cows are exploited?
Dairy cows, it depends because like you have a different kind of farms, and it very depends on the like the owner of the farm, I guess. Like how they are treated is very different at very different places.
They can be treated differently. I'm not saying
there.
no.
Yeah,
But don't you think that they're always used for what they give?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
And what do you think happens when they can no longer give?
yeah, they go to the slaughterhouse
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
to be meat.
And
Yeah.
and what's the original reason for cows producing milk anyway?
They for their little
Yeah.
like their kids. Yeah.
So what do you think happens to the kids?
Yeah, they also become either milk cows or get killed as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Yeah, it's very bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is that not a system of exploitation that you're participating in?
I don't know actually.
Do you consume any dairy products like cheese, milk?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, wouldn't you say that there is an exploitation happening on your behalf?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're against it, do you think you can continue saying you're against it if you're still participating in a system of exploitation that you don't actually need to participate in?
I think I am doing a lot like for exploitation and like already being a vegetarian. I think I'm. Yeah. I hate to say it like this, but I think I am. Doing better than some other humans, but I think like dairy is a very big part of my meal, and like if I wouldn't eat dairy, I wouldn't eat like almost anything. Like almost have.
Why not? Can't you replace everything that you have dairy products with the counterparts like soy products or stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I do. I do eat a lot of soy. I try to avoid it like a lot, but I still.
Why do you try to avoid it? I'm sorry for that. I'm just curious why.
Yeah, and try to avoid like dairy products. I'm sorry.
Dairy
That's
products.
why.
Yeah. I thought you meant soy products.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't. Is there any need there, or is it just a want?
I think it's just a want.
It's just a want.
It's just
yeah.
I just like the taste of it, and I enjoy eating it. So yeah.
But do you think that your want morally justifies the slaughter, the rape, the exploitation that
not. No.
these animals go
No.
through? No, it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate you saying that, but
Yeah.
you realize that when you're paying for it, your actions say a different
Yeah.
story, right?
I know. Yeah. It's very, yeah. I don't know the Dutch word.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hypocritical, yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think it's important that you align your actions with your own morals?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so that would mean going vegan. Is there
Yeah.
anything stopping you from going vegan?
There is not. No, I think no.
No.
My dad used to be vegan, so I was vegan for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I do know a lot about the industry and stuff like that because I think it's very interesting and I think it's morally like bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we should change it. But I know
Exactly.
I cannot do it only by myself. And if a lot of people also are eating it, there is no change in my actions. So I feel like
Why is it that you cannot do it on your own, and why is it that you think that your actions have no impact? Right, we've already established
Yeah.
that you have some responsibility, so therefore your actions do have impact.
I think like for such a big industry, there's a lot of change needed.
Yeah.
And I think if one person stops eating dairy, it wouldn't change the industry because they still sell a lot of it. So if I and maybe like a lot of my friends or like people close to me, if like many people stop it, then I think the industry will know from I'm not it something's wrong. And I
But,
think that that's the point where they're gonna change. And if I think
Do you think any change can happen if we all say the same thing? If we all say,
Yeah.
well, we have to wait
yeah, but
until
we
somebody
we
else
all have
does
to
it?
be aligned to
Do we,
Yeah.
or does change actually start with each individual and then it trickles down? Because one person going vegan can save a lot of animals per year, or can
Yeah.
spare them the whole idea of being raped, exploited,
Yeah.
and all of this. But like obviously, millions and billions of animals are exploited each year worldwide. So when you subtract, I don't know, 100 animals, let's say you would have your impact,
Yeah.
it would mean nothing to the whole number, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't put a dent into it, but it would mean everything to those 100 animals that
I
you would
think so,
exploit,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you were on the other end, one of those 100 animals, wouldn't you want somebody to say stop, or would you want them to say, no, wait until your friends do it and then you do it?
No, I agree with you. That's I think somebody has to start it, and I know
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
I just think for myself, like at this point in my life, I think maybe I should wait and do it like in a few years, which is very bad because I know I can make change now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a very big step, and I need people around me to support me in that, and that's just maybe something personal.
But do you think that if you would do it, people wouldn't support you? Because
No,
you
that's
might
not-
still get
yeah.
support from, right?
Of course, yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't participate in it, but they would still support you in a sense that they
Yeah,
would.
of course. I think that is right, but personally, I like it. I like to do stuff together, so that's something from my side that I think I would do a better job if people around me would do it as well. I think that's yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand because
Yeah.
like it feels, and I'm sorry to say that I'll be direct with it,
Yeah.
but it feels a little bit selfish, right?
Yeah, I get that.
Because,
Yeah, it is.
It's all these animals on the other side. They don't have any choices. They don't.
Yeah.
They also want to have friends like you have friends.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to feel love
get
or all
that.
this kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
if they're forced into slaughterhouses, if they're exploited, if they're raped
Yeah.
for you, and because you supported it, don't you
Yeah.
think that it's kind of hypocritical for you to say, well, my life is more important than yours, or my life is worth hundreds of
I get
other
that,
animals'
yeah.
life, right?
Yeah.
Because at
It
the end
is.
of the day, it's like, and I understand that you align with it, but it's important that your actions align with it, because these animals don't care what you say; they care what you do, right? You can
Yeah.
you can even say the opposite if you want.
Yeah.
The most important part is how you act and
Yeah.
how you do, right?
Are you vegan yourself?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, fully vegan.
Fully feel it. Fully. Yeah,
Nice.
but being vegan, by the way, there's no fully or half vegan, right?
I know, yeah.
Because being vegan literally just means being against exploitation of animals
get that,
and
yeah.
following through with it. That's all it means, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, I am against it.
Yeah.
For me, when I found out about dairy farms, I realized that there's no way to justify it.
Yeah.
I thought it doesn't happen here in the Netherlands. Yeah,
I'm
I'll let you
sorry.
go. But it does happen in the
Yeah,
Netherlands. It
I
does
get that.
happen a lot, right?
Yeah,
So
it does.
just one final question: how many more animals should be exploited for you before you change?
For me, oh,
How many do you want? How many animals
yeah,
do
I
you
want
want?
none, of course, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's no
change
but.
is
You
hard.
gotta go
Change is
vegan.
hard,
Change is
yeah.
hard. But you know, sometimes the best things in life are hard,
I
and
get
sometimes
that,
the right thing to do is hard. But
Yeah.
that shouldn't mean we shouldn't do
Yeah.
it, right? Just because
Yeah.
it's a little bit hard.
Well,
Can I
thank
give
you
you
so
some
much.
resources to look into it?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I forgot your name. You didn't have a very common.
Fearle, yeah,
Fearle.
it's Dutch, yeah.
It's Dutch, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Fearle, for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
I recommend you either watch The Minion or
Yeah.
I think something that you will enjoy is The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear.
Okay.
And you can even watch it with your friends because it's
Okay,
not gruesome.
yeah.
It's actually a good content. And if you scan this QR code, you also have Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan.
Okay.
It's all free.
Oh, maybe I'll try.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much. No,
Okay.
maybe. Come on, do it. You can do
Okay.
it. You're a compassionate person. You're
Good
an
luck
awesome
today.
person. Thank you. Cheers. She's a nice girl. Oh, are we having some nutritional questions over here in the chat? Please shoot them away. I am actually pretty. I'm almost there with my certified nutritionist training. So please tell me, what exactly what nutrition question do you have? I can easily ask. Tell them, Crisp. How come you'll continue to eat meat? Oh, so some people you're already discussing it in the chat. Okay. I think that nutritionally speaking, there is absolutely nothing that you can't get from, well, not I think, I know that there's nothing that you can't get from animal products that you can get from plants, right? Like everything is available also in plants and in plant-based products and in plant-based derivative, that word, but you get it. You find everything that you absolutely need in plants and plant-based products. Maybe sometimes you may need to eat a little bit more of something. Is that really that bad? Really? Eating a little bit more? Maybe sometimes you need to, I don't know, supplement. B12, you should supplement. Is that really that bad to take a B12 supplement once or twice a week? Nah, I don't think so. What do you think about Jordan Peterson's daughter that only eats steak because literally anything else she negatively impacts her health? Well, I think that's baloney, first of all. Steak is already class 2B carcinogenic because it's red meat and it's already been shown to increase the risk of colon cancer. So there's that. So it may not be that good for your health, but you see, that's essentially the whole thing about something being good or not for your health, right? Like you gotta take the goods and subtract the bads from it, right? So I'm assuming that that individual, that person said, hey, you know what steak is providing me minus what steak is causing me, which is a risk for cancer, is worth it to me. Sure, maybe that is true. I don't know, to her. But you gotta ask yourself, is there really no other way to do it? And maybe there is, because I don't know, I can't speak for her specific situation. I don't know why she chooses that. But either way, you gotta ask yourselves those questions because, you know, when you are consuming animal products, whether it's steak, whether it's eggs, whether it's milk, whatever it is, you are forcing an innocent animal into a slaughterhouse. You are. It's sad. And all these animals, they want to live just as much as you do. So there you go. That's wrong. Colon cancer has already been proven to not be caused by steak, except by instance for overconsumption of large amounts of other trans fats. No, Devin, that is not true. That is arguably not true. You can find it on the World Health Organization website that red meat is a type 2B carcinogenic. You don't have to trust me on this. This isn't my opinion. This is established facts. You can find all the linked articles that show the relation between eating red meat and colon cancer. Devin, who is your source? Yes, Devin, a large organization full of nutritional experts is a pretty good source. Just because you have a problem trusting authority or trusting certain authority is nothing. I'm assuming Devin, did you vote for Trump, Devin? Are you gonna tell me you vote for Trump? Are you one of those people who deny science, who deny a- a- accredited organizations good body of science? Are you one of those people? Obviously, I voted for Trump. Yeah, there you go. So you are pretty anti-scientific. I get that. Okay. That's okay, I urge you to, you don't have to trust World Health Organization if you don't trust that. But there are several studies, not just one, several studies that show the connection between colon cancer and red meat. And I've actually been seeing these studies pop up ever since I was 21. So I'm 37 now, so 16 years now. 16 years of studies being replicated, being I don't know, being replicated, being done, being adjusted, peer-reviewed, all that, and reach the same conclusion. So, yeah, if you can't trust science, then it's kind of hard for me to think who can you trust. But then again, if you think you can trust Trump, but you can't trust science, then holy crap, that is an insane thing to think. Yeah, Devin. Oh, I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for people who are so misinformed and who lash out and they think, oh, what? You're trusting this? Yeah, man. I trust certain institutions because they have proven to be trustworthy. I trust certain, and that's not even maybe a good enough reason, to be honest. Yeah. As long as you see studies, so as long as you see empirical data to prove a certain thing, that's all you need. If it's replicated, if it's peer-reviewed, what else do you want? It's high quality. And there's several. It's not just one. There's several of such studies that have been done. But yeah, there you go. Warrior Beast says, Christ died and rose again, and he ate fish. Well, not my Christ. That's your mythical legend. My mythical legend says that the individual who died and rose was vegan, actually. So there you go. Do you have any proof of that? No. Do I have any proof of that? No. So there you go. It's your word against mine. It's as easy as that. Doesn't matter. And it also doesn't really matter what they did, right? It's not like it's as if saying that if somebody did it in the past, all of a sudden it makes it moral or something, right? It's not. Every situation is different. If you were in a deserted island and you would have to fish to survive, it would be one thing, versus if you have readily available food, but yet you still go and asphyxiate an innocent fish to death just because it brings you pleasure or just because you like it more. It's two different situations. One is morally justified, one isn't. There you go. So maybe Jesus was morally justified to eat fish when he did. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have any other alternatives. But that's not something that applies to you, is it? You do have other alternatives. Just curious, how do you have non-vegan friends? You get frustrated when people don't go vegan, and I'm assuming you have tried to get your friends to go vegan, but not all are. Not trolling, asks Rami. That's a good question, Rami. Reality is some of my friends are vegan. Well, especially the friends that I met through activism, they are vegan. The friends that I had before and that are not vegan, some of them I still talk to them, because I have other things in common with people, not just veganism. I'm more than just a vegan. I'm an individual who has other things on my mind and I'm curious about other things. I'm a software engineer. I like to talk about that sometimes. I like to talk about politics sometimes. Sometimes I like to talk about human rights. Sometimes I simply like to talk about math and logic, Just fascinated by all of these, right? So, yeah. Is it difficult for me to be around those people? I think around all of the people who are not vegan, when I see them, they know that they cannot have non-vegan products with me. Because if they do, I just wouldn't want to be around them anymore. So it's as easy as that. But some of my non-vegan friends I no longer consider friends, and it's not just because of veganism. It's more like I feel like it's also how people react to it, right? Like you can talk to people about veganism, and I understand some people may not go vegan, but the moment that they show their lack of logic, that they show how I don't know how they can justify forcing animals into slaughterhouses, how like all of it like it sucks. Like the only non-vegan friends that I have that I still see are the friends who say, yeah, it's not justifiable. It's not. Somehow they still do it, and I think they'll find their way there. But at least they acknowledge that it's not justifiable. So there you go. Remy says, understand, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's hard, right? Like imagine you live in a world where slavery is still there, where people are racists, and all your friends are racist, and you realize how fucked up it is, and you wake up and you say, hey, I don't want to be a racist, I don't want to have slaves, but everybody around you still says, well, I want to have slaves, or it's not racist, or they come up with all sorts of weird justifications, right? I feel like the people who know about it but don't change are at least halfway there, or at least acknowledge that it's okay. So there's at least something there. But the people who even deny that, then I don't know, are they really worth it? That's just my question, yeah. The LTN says, I can't have time for people who defend animal exploitation anymore. I just can't listen to that BS. Completely agree with you, the LTN. I also, that's why I don't even discuss it when I meet those people. They already know the position. They already know that that they can't have animal products around me. So yeah. Okay, let's focus on getting a conversation here. Yeah, I can't respect someone who defends exploitation or consider them a friend. Completely agree with you, Deltian. None of the people that I speak to that I consider friends are defending it. None of them. Some of them still participate in it, sadly so, but none of them defend it. Hey. Would you eat a table that isn't 100% vegan? Would I eat a table? I wouldn't eat a table to begin with. I don't know. And if it's not vegan, no. Why would I ever choose to do so? I don't know. Oh, at a table that isn't 100%. No, I don't longer do that, no. I would never sit with friends who consume animal products, no. Unless they're choosing plant-based. You want to try a social experiment? If you had the superpower to change all the people in the world to become vegan, would you do it? Yes, of course. No doubt about it. Yes, 100% yes. Should being vegan always be a choice? It should not, no. Being vegan is a moral obligation. It should not be a choice. It's as simple as that. If you believe that it's wrong to exploit any innocent sentient being, and that goes for humans, animals, whatever, then you probably should be vegan, because somewhere in your logic, and if you're not, then somewhere in your logic, in your logical train of thought, there's a mistake, or there's a discrimination. So either way. It's pretty simple. I'll explain later, but I want to focus on getting a conversation. You guys want to try a social experiment?
Okay.
Just ask you some questions, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
I don't mind.
What's your name?
My name is Victor.
Victor, nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
Chip.
to meet you. What's your name?
Chip.
Chip. Okay.
Okay, so Victor, how do you feel about animals?
Um, okay. I don't really like the animals,
You-
pets like this, at least.
Okay, do you think animals deserve moral consideration?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, as in they should be morally considered and not be exploited, abused, or slaughtered for something?
Of course. For example, zoos or something like that. I think that okay, if you want to see something, you can see it also in the internet. You don't need to have like a jail for different animals. At least I don't know what are you talking about.
It's a very interesting perspective. Yeah. So let's talk about zoos. So zoos, why are zoos wrong according to you? Is it because they're in a cage? What if the cage is big? Does that make it okay?
I think that it doesn't matter if you have a cage, the size of the cage. It doesn't matter if it's small or even big. It's still a cage.
Yeah.
It's not natural liberty. Actually, for example, for a human being, it doesn't matter if your cage is like 20 meters or 50 meters or at least 1 kilometer. It's still a cage.
Okay.
You cannot go by yourself wherever you want. You are at least like a slave, some like a slave or something like that.
Do you think animals want to be free?
I don't think that they have the personal opinion on the cap. This is different or at least difficult because you are considering that they have like an ability or a human ability to feel free for it.
No, but they do have wills and desires, right? Like, do you think animals want to be?
Desires at least like I think that's you need to have empathy with an animal, but empathy with an animal is not possible because it's still an animal.
Oh, there's a
But-
lot of animals who display empathy, by the way. But yeah.
Yeah, actually dolphin, no, but not every animal, but all the animals. But what are you asking for? I think that it's not will for being free, but they have the deserve to be free. They deserve. To be
Fair
free.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll just challenge this one little thing. So,
Yeah.
do you think if you put an animal in a cage, will they not want to be out of the cage?
Of course, they want to be. If they,
So does that not mean that they want to be free?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're against exploiting animals.
Can you repeat, please?
I'm assuming you're against exploiting animals.
Yeah, of course.
And you mentioned zoos, so you're against exploiting animals for fun, right?
Of
But what
course.
about for food or for clothing? Do you think it's okay to exploit animals for those purposes?
For clothing, if it is for only the only reason about the existence of one animal, for example, a fox or something like that, for having for clothing, I think it's not. At least it's not more. It's like stupid or something like this. I feel like it doesn't have any sense because you can have something really similar, at least the same, by synthetic or something like that.
Yeah, because we
That's-
have alternatives, exactly.
Yeah, that's other alternatives, but the same alternatives I won't use them for explain everything related with animals because, for example, I eat vegetables, I eat animals. I don't mind what do I eat, but at least I will prefer that instead of saying you have to eat this without any animal or this with all the different possibilities, that this kind of option, you can eat whatever you want, is like without exploding animals. For example, I'm against the black or white opinion nowadays of, for example, being vegetarian or even vegan. I'm against that because there are other possibilities. For example, you can eat without exploding industries. You can find outside.
There's no such. Do you think there's such a thing as animal products without exploiting animals?
Yeah, there it is.
Please
You can
explain.
find it. For example, if you go, for example, to I'm from Spain and you have some kind of supermarkets such as Mercadona or some of this that actually is for exploding big quantities of animals, and actually they don't give
Tell me which product you mean.
For example, burger meats or something like that.
So meat.
Yeah,
Let's
for
assume
example.
meat. So do you think meat is not the product of an animal being killed?
Of course.
Is not a product of an animal being brought into existence for the sole purpose of being killed?
But the difference that I'm saying that it's not
Is that not exploitation?
the exploitation is how do you do it? How do you do it? Actually, human beings we are what we are.
Exploitation is how you do it.
No. Yeah, for it. Of
So how
course.
come exploitation is not how you do it in the case of zoos?
It's not the same for myself. For example, when you are speaking about eating or some, for example, lunch or even different kind of food, actually, food is what human beings use for.
But you
and
have
what-
alternatives. I understand. Like I
It's not the
understand.
same. It's not the same as,
So,
for
so
example, the
we
food.
we obviously have needs, right? I'm not saying like
Yeah.
we have as human beings, as you said.
I'm a doctor.
we
actually.
have
I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor, and what I'm speaking about is that the alternatives that you receive, for example, when you are vegan, are using different kind of compounds of vitamins that you can use for yourself. For example, by men and women here are different because actually you have soja texturizada. How you say it in English? Soy.
Textured soya.
texturized soya, for
Oh,
example,
TVP, yeah.
texturized soya, for example, for a woman can be a good choice, for example, for protein, but not a good choice for example,
Why
for
not?
men. It's because of hormones.
But that's not true, you know that, right?
Actually, I'm a doctor. Give me a second. How do you say in English?
Phytoestrogens.
The estrogens. About the estrogens, for example, you
But
can. Decide-
there's been studies showing
Gee.
that phytoestrogens don't impact the free-flowing testosterone
Are you
or
sure?
estrogen.
For example,
100%
it's the
sure.
same- I'm also sure about, for example, you have this gynecomastia. It's almost a bigger. You have bigger consequences about gynecomastia in vegan people than, for example, in without vegan people. And that's true. Actually, there are a lot of students who are speaking about that because it's not about the testosterone levels, about the estrogen levels.
Yeah,
Okay, you can
estrogen,
have-
also
you can
free-flowing
have-
estrogen doesn't affect it. Again, there's been studies showing that.
I repeat, as a doctor, you can find estrogen.
I don't care
with people by
if you're a doctor or
gynecomastia.
not. I care about the studies. It's not
I'm
about.
speaking about that. I'm
Yeah.
speaking about that. I don't mind if I'm a doctor or not. Reading the studies that it shows the difference that between people that are vegan and people not vegan about the estrogen levels and what you can find, for example, some diseases.
But you know that's not true, right?
Actually, it's true. There
It's
are
not
studies.
because you know
Do you have
know.
studies about that?
Yeah, I do.
Show me.
My phone is there, but if you pull out your phone, I can show you.
If I pull out my phone, also I pull out my vacations. It has been a pleasure.
No. I mean, I can show you on your phone. I can't show you on my phone. So if you think, why is it that you don't want to see the real studies then?
Because
I don't know.
want to spend my vacations. I'll really having time with you. For example, 10 minutes
Yeah.
is okay, but not more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So
I
it has
get
been a
that, but
pleasure.
like I'm just here speaking on behalf of animals, and if you think it's morally if it's
It's my
morally
opinion.
justified
It's
to
my-
force animals
actually-
into slaughterhouses
actually,
based
you have
on
your- you
based
have
on
your
some
opinion,
pseudoscientific
but
thing,
you have your
it's not my
opinion.
opinion. It's studies. Again, I can tell you
The
pull it out
difference-
and I'll show
the
you.
difference between speaking and
Yeah.
shouting and a monologue is what you think.
So wait a minute, but I'm curious.
Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is my
No,
opinion.
because it's not my
And
opinion, this
accept
is
yours,
studies.
No, I'm not speaking about studies.
But
I'm
it's funny
speaking about-
because when you said I could show you on my phone, I said my phone is there. You would have waited, but now that I tell you pull it out on your phone and I'll show you on your phone, you don't want to wait anymore. Why is that?
Because I want to spend my time of vacation. I'm trying to be not rude with you. That's it. That's the difference. Because I want to still spend time with vacation. I dedicate your time for your show, but actually,
But it's
what I
exactly
want
the
to-
same thing, right? If I pulled out my
Okay,
phone, it's
bye.
exactly the same thing if you pull out my phone or if you pull out your phone. How is that different? That is not logical. There you go, people. Illogical people. No, that person is not right. Please, somebody, can you please go and check there is a specific study that you can very quickly reference, and can you please put the PMID in the chat? It's pretty easy to find. All this, oh my God. I'm a doctor, therefore I know better, okay? I'm a doctor, I haven't been trained in nutrition, but I know better. I'm a doctor. I looked up studies and choose them based on what suits my own worldview. Come on. Yeah, literal appeal to authority, exactly. Literal appeal to authority. But yeah, I'm still, somebody please look up that study where it proves, it says testosterone, it talks about free-flowing testosterone and estrogen in men who have eaten soy. And yeah, please post the PMID here so that other people have it. I might need to print out studies, it seems like. Bro, you are handsome, says 4K Death Note. Thank you. That's the first time. You're the first person to come in here and say I'm handsome. Most people just say I'm vegan. Bro, you look like a vegan. Thank you. I'm okay. I'm different looking, I guess. This isn't about myself, though. Oh, there you go. Ali posted the study just now. Thank you so much, Ali. Devin says even the gays can look handsome. Yeah, Devin. And it's okay to have whatever sexual orientation you want to have. You know, I personally, and sexual orientation is a very complex thing. That's what you need to understand also. I don't usually want to talk about sexual orientation too much, but it's pretty easy, you know. You can like one person, you can want to be with another person, you can want to like somebody sexually, you can not like somebody sexually, you can you can have fantasies about one gender, but not have fantasies about a different gender. Sexuality is very complex. You can't just like the fact that some people boil it down to it's easy. Or you gotta like this because it's the opposite gender. Because that's how everybody likes it. And in fact, you know what? What was it? Because I recently saw a YouTube video. Didn't fact check the statistic myself, but it said something along the lines of only 5% of the population is full straight. Only 5%, which is insane. But yeah, again, I didn't fact check that, so the battery is a little bit messed up. Give me a second. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay now? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Anyway, I'm here sitting and defending animals. Hi. The sign is reversed. Yeah, sadly, YouTube reverses the whole thing. It's mirroring the whole thing. So yeah. Do good to others, says Deborah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, or at least don't do bad to others, right? I'm not here saying telling people do good to others. I'm just saying don't do bad to others. It's as simple as that. Don't do something that you wouldn't want to be done unto yourself. It's as easy as that, right? The golden rule. Joe Spivey says real men don't eat meat. Yeah, I mean, real people who value, I don't know, respect. Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
No. What is your YouTube channel?
I can tell you afterwards.
All right.
You want to be on camera or off camera?
Yeah, I'm on camera.
Can you come a little bit closer then?
Yeah, what do you want to have me?
What's your name?
Tony.
Tony, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
I'm from Amsterdam.
Oh, from Amsterdam. Cool. Okay, so how do you feel about animals, Tony?
I love them.
You love them. Do you think animals deserve moral consideration?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Do you think... Okay. Do you think animals deserve to be exploited?
Depends on what you call exploited.
Used for our benefit and maybe against their will.
Do they have a will?
Don't you think animals have a will?
Intuition, maybe? But a will, as we human people have a will?
Is human will the same as is not human will coming also partly from intuition, or why would we assume that the will that animals have isn't coming from exactly the same place as ours does? Since anyway they
well,
have
if you consider
the
that we are animals too.
We are animals. They also
and
have
every
brains.
living being is
Yeah.
on a continuum of being sentient or not.
Exactly.
But still,
So yeah, so you touched upon it. Animals are sentient, right? You just
Yeah.
said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you again. How do you feel about animal exploitation? Do you think animals should be exploited?
I think exploitation is in any case wrong.
Is in any case wrong? Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Do you think that
But
there?
depends on what you call exploitation.
Well, let's talk about animal agriculture, for example. Do you think in animal agriculture there's inherent animal exploitation?
Yeah.
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 So, do you think you can be against animal exploitation while at the same time paying for animal products which contribute to animal exploitation?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't you think there's a contradiction
around.
there? What am I supposed to see if I look around?
Real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know animals are exploited in real life, but
Yeah,
the
but-
question is how do we morally justify
yeah.
participating in it?
Yeah.
How do you morally justify participating in it?
By trying to buy meat, because I'm a meat eater, I'm not a veggie.
But you don't have to, do you?
No, I don't have to, but I like it.
So you choose to.
I choose to.
So you choose to exploit animals.
No, I choose to eat animals.
Yeah, well, there's inherent exploitation happening behind that, isn't
Is
there?
that true?
Yeah,
Why?
because any animal who you are eating was bred for the sole purpose of being killed for you.
But is the purpose?
Yeah,
the
it
thing
is
that
inherently
says-
exploitative to use an animal regardless, right? Like,
So purpose defines exploitation.
no, just the fact that you use that animal, right? Do you think that animal wanted to die for you?
Then you have to define the word use. Is using a horse for riding on the beach?
Yeah, it is exploitative.
Why?
Because that horse did not never consent to you getting on their back. I don't know how to put it. Like,
Yeah, well,
with me riding on your
absolutely
back
true.
on
That's
the
true.
beach,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
And then he didn't give a written consent.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be written, but
but
some
what
form of
about a
consent.
dog?
Yeah,
Living in a house
yeah.
with a family.
It's obviously a little bit more complicated when it comes to dogs. But
Why?
let's,
Because the dog never gives consent.
it's a little bit more complicated because let's assume this way: if you are to buy a dog from a breeder, then you are supporting a system of exploitation, right? If you are to buy a dog from a shelter, rescue, then you are just basically giving them a better life, and you can still choose to have them as companions, not for you to exploit them, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a nice philosophical discussion, and I
Yeah.
think in most of everything you say, I can agree.
Yeah.
But what is your point?
Well, my point is that I'm trying to sit here and speak on behalf of the animals that we we disregard, the animals that we usually exploit, right? And I understand that we live in a world where we built this world on top of animal exploitation, and we think it's okay. And in fact, the world wasn't always this way, right? Like the world was always
In
had some
paradise,
form
maybe?
of. Well, no, the world did have some animal exploitation within it always. I'm just saying that it was never this big.
No, not
this
on the scale we do it.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Yeah,
So because it reached this scale, it has become so inherent into our own beliefs.
But there's
and to
also
our
a
own
philosophical thing. But is scale the main problem?
No, it is not.
No.
No,
Well, yeah.
Obviously, 100% no. But scale does prove.
But when we go back in time, when scale was minimal,
Yeah, it's still not justified. No.
All right.
So none of it morally justifies
if
exploiting
exploitation
animals.
of animals makes the human race survive, just make it a philosophical question. Would it be all right then?
Not if there's other alternatives. No.
If there are no other alternatives?
If there are no other alternatives, you could sort of morally justify it. But then, even in that situation, I would argue that, well, why do they have to suffer for us, right? Like, what gives us the right?
Because we are in power.
But I would say, yeah. But
Yeah.
do you think that just because you have the power, you also have the right to abuse your power over somebody? Right? Like I understand having power, but
Do you see the news?
I see it, but I don't agree with it, right? Like
No.
I understand what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand there's all this shit happening in the world, exploitation, horrible things. But I personally,
You know, my thing is,
yeah,
animal welfare is my second priority, politically, socially,
yeah,
but not my first.
yeah. But it doesn't.
So I do agree with what you say, but it's not my first priority.
But let me put it this way, right? Every time you eat, let's say, because this
Yeah.
is usually the case for most people, the concern for most people, you make a decision. Nobody's forcing you to make
Yeah.
these choices, right?
True.
You make the choice.
True.
So wherever you choose to spend your time, the rest of the time, you can choose to spend to fight for animal rights, for political things, whatever. For human rights, for political things, whatever it is that you want to fight for. But when you make these choices, all you
Yeah.
got to do is make a choice that doesn't exploit an animal, which literally means going
Yeah.
plant-based, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's a good argument.
You don't really have
I
to.
don't have to make it my priority.
Yeah, you don't have
it's
to make it your
day-to-day
priority. Yeah,
thing you
yeah.
do in life.
It is my priority
Yeah.
personally because I'm an
Yeah.
animal
I
rights
know,
activist.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I said
But
it.
it doesn't have to be your priority, right? Like
Get it.
the bare
Yeah.
minimum is
Yeah.
just not
Yeah.
just making the choice to not exploit them.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you agree, what is it that you want to do? Do you wanna?
I love
agree-
meat.
I understand that.
That's
but
the problem. Now, I can get rid of any kind of meat I want, except bacon.
But do you think that you can morally justify
Yes.
like why these animals
I
go
can
through
yes,
for
I
what you
can.
like?
Yeah, because animals eat animals too.
But animals also rape other animals. Would you be able to morally justify raping
Yes.
somebody because other animals
Everybody
do it?
can rape another person if the conditions are
And
right.
that's morally
or wrong.
justified?
No, of course
Right.
not.
So then you.
But you can.
Then it should also not be morally justified when you do
You
it
can.
because other animals do it like for food, right?
Yeah, we do it for food too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If it's not morally justified in the case
Yeah,
of rape,
but a
why would it
lion
be
can
mostly
eat fruits too.
Say it again.
A lion can eat fruit too.
Yeah, but a lion doesn't know that it has all these alternatives like you would, right? Like, would you blame?
Well,
let-
that's a matter of degree, I guess.
Let's put it this way.
We
if a child-
agreed on the fact that animals are conscient beings.
But animals are not. So we are moral agents. Animals are moral patients. You see what I
Let's
mean?
stop this because I agree with you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to convince me.
You don't. It's
My
you
problem
agree
is
with
it's
me
not
verbally.
my first priority.
But we've
and I
already
love
tackled the
bacon
first
too
priority.
much.
And by the way, about bacon, do you know how pigs are killed in this country?
I know.
How?
I try to buy my meat from farmers and butchers that
They're killed in gas chambers.
we are killing animals to eat them. Yeah. That's
Is that not insane?
Basically a problem for me.
But is that not insane to you? That we are killing other species just on the sole
Species kill other species.
Yeah, but we are killing them on the sole premise that they're born a species that we deemed that they're worthy to be killed for. We don't kill dogs for food. We don't kill all animals for food.
That
We only kill
depends on the
certain
country you
animals.
live in.
But would you kill dogs for food?
I would have no moral problem killing dogs for food,
Okay, so then
if necessary.
No, not in the case of in the same situation, not necessity. In the same situation where you can choose, would you
Not
have
enough meat on a dog.
let's assume you have enough meat. I don't know.
Why would there be a problem?
So you wouldn't have a problem with that.
Eating dogs? No. Morally, philosophically, no.
Oh, okay. So
Why would I?
So then, how about humans? Why not humans? I'm just going a little bit deeper. Why humans? Have you ever heard about name the trait? By the way.
No.
So name the trait is this philosophical argument where it basically boils down to what trait do animals lack that if a human being also lacked it, it would make it okay to do what we do to animals to do to humans.
All right. Yeah. No. Don't know it. No.
So I'll ask you, what is it that animals don't have that if a human also didn't have it, it would make it okay to kill a human for food, for optional food?
Also, basically, there is no rational argument against eating people for food if necessary.
Not if necessary. Again, I bring it back to optional food, right? In the case of necessity, it's a different situation we can discuss. In the case of if I'm stranded on the desert island, I might kill some people to survive. But that doesn't give
Or
me
eat to death.
or eat to death or die myself, right? But that doesn't morally justify me
And
going
provide
on
food
the
for someone
streets.
else.
That doesn't morally justify me going on the streets and killing people to eat
No,
them.
no.
No, because I have other alternatives, right? So it's the same in this situation.
No, my main reason is, besides the reasons that I said before,
It's just that you like it. That's just
I
that you
don't-
like it, yeah.
I don't
There's
specifically.
vegan bacon, by the way, which tastes very similar. There's vegan bacon.
I tried it.
It's just taste difference, but do you really think
tastes
that a
different.
taste difference is
Okay,
worth
okay.
destroying the whole
Maybe
universe
one
for
day,
an innocent
maybe one day I
animal?
will switch. Yeah. What was the question?
So do you think that the taste difference is worth taking the whole life of an animal for something that you get pleasure for 10 minutes and they lose their whole life?
The philosophical problem is that I don't have a problem with killing animals
But why do you have a problem with killing humans and not animals?
because they are not animals.
We just established that we're animals also.
We are animals in the sense that we're from the same root. Because every living
We're
being-
mammals. We're animals.
mammals,
We're a
yeah,
form of
yeah,
animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So why is it that you think it's okay to kill
Let's eat the non-mammals.
I'm just curious. Why is it that you think it's okay to kill an animal but not a human?
Because they're not human.
But that's like a circular reasoning, right?
Yeah, it is a circular reason.
But it's the same.
Because that's what people are.
But isn't that exactly
Humans.
Isn't that exactly what a racist could say? It's okay to kill a black person and not a white person. Why? Because a black person is not a white person. It's just circular reasoning. We need to have some form of logical base when we say such things as killing
But who
somebody.
said that nature was logical?
Well, nature isn't.
We
but
are
we
part,
are, aren't we?
we are part of nature. In nature, animals kill animals for food. We are animals, so why should we not kill other animals for food?
Again, in nature, animals rape other animals for pleasure. Therefore, why shouldn't I be able to rape others for
pleasure?
pleasure? Yeah.
I don't know. I never asked an animal if he did it for pleasure.
Doesn't matter why. Okay, in nature, animals rape other animals. In nature, you know what lions do? Lions, in order to show dominance in a tribe, they kill all the cubs of the males
Yeah,
so that they can mate with the females faster.
yeah.
If a human being did that, would that
Absolutely
be okay?
rational. No, because
why? We're animals, as you said. It's morally
no, we
justified.
are
Whatever we do.
biologically animals.
Say that again.
But the simple fact that we can talk here on camera and have a philosophical discussion
I mean, we
makes
have
us,
technology.
makes us
I won't-
different.
because we have technology. But technology
It's
was
not
not
only
made by me. I
technology,
couldn't possibly build
It's
that phone.
brains.
I couldn't.
It's brains. the
Animals
amount
also
of
have brains. You know,
the
did
way
you know
we
that
use-
animals also have slow and fast
From-
learning?
The bottom line at my side is that I do not consider animals and humans equal, and you do.
No, I don't.
Okay.
There's a difference, you know. You see, I definitely have a value, like I have a value system, right? Like I would say my family comes first, my friends come afterwards. If I were to have a pet, they would be somewhere there,
Yeah.
and then strangers,
And you
right?
wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat it. But
No.
you, just because I have this moral value, doesn't mean that I get to cross the line and call everybody under that line, say I don't give a shit because everybody else values to me, but you
But
don't.
basically, and it's a sad story, that is exactly what we humans do
It is, but
for thousands and thousands of years.
do you really want to continue doing that?
No.
So
And that's the reason why I like the fact that we are humans, capable of philosophical thinking,
but you
of
see,
rationality, of discussing with another human. I
But-
can't discuss with a lion; he will eat me.
I get that, and you say
And that's
that.
my difference.
But what's your rationale then? Because that's what I've been wanting to hear from you. You say we're rational humans, and I want to hear a rationale for you for saying it's okay to kill animals but not humans. What is that difference between them? What is the difference
Because
between
they're
that?
not equal to me.
But I'm not equal to you. What do you mean? There's right. I definitely am not equal to you. Would it be okay to kill me?
Depends on the circumstances.
Depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
No, I mean on a
Yeah,
day-to-day
and
basis.
that's-
I mean in a circumstance.
That's true
that-
for me and also true for you.
But I mean, in the same circumstances we kill these animals for, right? In circumstance, for optional products, for products that we could always choose otherwise.
Yeah, that's a good argument. And I am, like many people, switching bit by bit.
Bit by bit, okay.
So I'm on your side.
I appreciate you being on my side,
I'm
but
on
I
a
need you to
di-
change your
on a
action.
slightly different road.
Yeah,
It is slightly slower paced.
fair enough. Yeah.
So-
Listen. I just need you to understand that, as
But
you
the
said,
main reason why I will stop eating meat is because it's not necessary anymore.
it is not. No, but no
So,
animal
and-
product
and-
is necessary.
With the exception of bacon, all right.
But that's
Maybe.
also not
Okay,
necessary.
we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But I'm on a slower pace, maybe on a different road, but we'll get at the same
So
point.
let me ask you this then, and I'll let you go. How many more animals should be exploited for you before you stop choosing for animals
It's
to
not
be
a matter of
exploited?
quantity.
It's not a matter of. But how many do you want? What is?
Do you
what
know
is
how
your-
many million animals are slaughtered every day in the Netherlands?
I know a lot.
We're
I
the
know,
biggest
yeah.
exporter of slaughtered animals.
It's sad. It's sad.
sad, yeah, I
It's
know.
sad.
Yeah,
But you
I
don't
know.
have to be part of it, do you? Like there's
You don't have to convince me. I am
Yeah.
on a slower pace,
yeah.
but we go to the same end station.
Obviously, slower pace is better than no pace. Let me
Yeah,
put it this way.
yeah.
But you know, if we were to take the
But I love the philosophical discussion. But
yeah.
beware, a philosophical discussion never ends at the truth, but only at the difference between people.
Depends, right? Depends. There's people who like. I'm not here to have a philosophical discussion where I'm like. I definitely think we have different worldviews. I'm sure of that. No two people have the same worldviews
No.
generally, but I think where we are both alike is that we both think that it would be wrong to take the life of an animal for something you don't need. You say that you don't have a problem with
But
it.
for thousands of years, we needed animal protein.
We did, but nowadays we don't anymore,
true,
do we?
it's
Right?
true.
That's the
Yeah,
whole
it's
thing
true.
about it,
Yeah.
and that's
But the
whole,
fact that we needed animal proteins made us as people into a species that liked, loved, get used to eating meat.
perhaps the reason why I brought up, you
And
remember?
switching that is a matter of pace.
But
a
you-
matter of not going to a different direction, but maybe speedy, maybe slow.
The reason why I brought up the scale at first, remember, and you asked me if scale matters, it doesn't. But the reason why I brought up scale was to explain exactly the specific thing, because the way we eat animal products today is not something that we've been doing for thousands of years, as you mentioned it, right? When we were eating
It's true.
animal products, we were eating once a week,
Yeah, it's true.
twice a week maximum. I know because I come from Romania.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
grandparents had subsistence agriculture.
Yeah.
They would live off the animals that they had. They couldn't afford to kill an animal
No,
every day,
they
right?
have enough animals.
They didn't have enough, right?
Yeah.
So
And now we
so-
got 10,000 in the barn.
Exactly. So what we got used to
Yeah.
today is actually just propaganda that animal agriculture is selling us. You need animals.
true.
You need animal products. We don't.
Yeah.
Right. So actually,
agree.
Yeah. So actually,
agree.
where we're at
Yeah.
is that we just need to replace that
Yeah.
1 time a week, 2 time a week with something else, and we definitely have that available, right?
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
for
thank
this
you for having this
conversation.
conversation with me. Can I give you some resources to help you look into that?
No.
No, you don't want to look into
Don't
it.
need it.
You don't need it.
I got it.
You got it. You got it. I appreciate you that you got it. That,
I'm one of those left-wing greenies.
It's awesome. I also am left wing or maybe center. I don't know, somewhere center left, somewhere that. But like, I just wanted to tell you, like, you're obviously an intelligent person. I appreciate the conversation I had with you, but it's important that the values that we have also align with the actions, right? Because if our values don't align with our actions, then we become hypocrites. And when there's victims on the other side,
one
it's
of the main things
specifically
I
worse.
like to do is not becoming a hypocrite, but telling exactly how shitty the world is.
It is. So in a lot of
You know,
verses, yeah.
some things we as humans do are not all right. But that's what we do.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes people get away with terribly wrong things.
Yeah.
And the main problem is what to do next.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes that is the problem, and sometimes if the action is continuously repeated, all you can do is try to the first thing you can do is try to stop that action from being repeated, right?
By
And
what
then-
means?
By what means?
Yeah, that's always the question, always the discussion.
Yeah, well, I'm a person who I'm a more or less, well, not more or less, I'm mostly a deontologist, so I believe in every individual matter. The ends don't justify the means, right? So I believe that we should be doing things the right way regardless of what we do. So in all other situations, like I know the world is kind of going in a little bit to the right side, which is kind of weird, and
Shall we drink some coffee?
yeah. Hey, anyway,
Okay,
it's
man.
nice having this
Were
conversation
you
with
live
you.
streaming or?
Yeah, I was live streaming. Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
How many views?
90 people.
Oh well, not bad.
Not bad, not
Okay.
bad. Yeah. Hey, thank
See
you.
you.
Have a good one. Cheers. Hey, you want to talk? Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me okay? What's your name?
Rooney.
Rooney, nice to meet you, Rooney. I saw that you, I saw that you waited patiently. So I guess you heard a lot of the conversation that I was having there. So what do you think? What do you think about animals, animal exploitation? What's your take on it?
I think two things. On one hand, I think that the justification of any action lies in the appeal. And at the same time, I had a conversation with the other gentleman.
Yeah.
I believe that the only durable change will be achieved once we have changed our experience with animals, because then our relationship with animals changes. So that's why I said hopefully, like with all the technological improvements, we will have cultural improvements that will allow us to empower and have different types of relationships with animals, and that these relationships will lead to more desirable relations and lives for animals. That's what I think.
Okay, but do you think that we already have the technology necessary for us to never exploit animals?
No.
Why not? What is it that you think we're missing?
Well, I think we're missing a lot of holistic reasoning and systems thinking.
In what way holistic? Because we're talking about a holistic view of it, right? Like from the decisions that you're making, you always have readily available options. So how is that not a holistic approach?
Well, so let me put it this way. It's not holistic because you're not, as I see it, respecting human sentiments and the human experience.
Is the
So-
human
so-
experience necessarily, does that necessitate exploiting animals, forcing them into slaughterhouses?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. So what I'm trying to say is, as the gentleman said before, we are a part of nature, right? So in a sense, as I see it, we are a manifestation of a part of nature. So it's good that we that we reason critically about what we do
Yeah.
and how we feel about it. But at the same time, we can't simply deny the validity of the conduct of the others because we disapprove of the situation. So I'm not saying that you can't criticize or try to change it. I'm saying that if you have a holistic approach, you'll find, in a sense, I think, a third option that will grant people a level of gratification with a far less expensive cost, rather than simply asking
We're
them
saying
to...
a lot of things.
Yeah.
We're saying a
Yeah.
lot of things. So
Yeah.
when we bring
more
cost in-
gratification at a lower cost. That's what I'm saying.
okay, but like, why is it that you think cost? So as far as I'm understanding, what you're saying is that
Yeah.
if we were to have options at a lower cost, it would
Yeah.
be already be good enough.
Yes. So for example.
So what if you were to
Yeah.
find out that there's been 3 studies that showed that in Western Europe, Australia, UK, and Europe,
Yeah.
it's actually cheaper to be vegan?
Well, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, like, when I talk about cost, for example.
You're talking about resources? What are you talking about if not money?
I'm talking about common sense reasoning. So what I'm trying to say is, you have the energy, you have the resources, you have attitudes, right? So when I talk about the lower cost, I'm saying you would have to, in a sense, manage to convince one of the leaders of those big companies, right, and consumers, that they can have more pleasure at a more appealing and easy way that is not negative to animals. That's what you would have to manage.
Why do I have to convince the head of the company, as you said?
Because as it stands, like, you're not able to enforce it. So you can convince it through violence or through intimidation, right?
I don't know what you mean. So listen.
So what I mean is, when you want someone to change their behavior, you're going to have to find a way to convince them to do
Okay, so I
so.
want to change your behavior. I want
Yeah.
you to stop paying for animal exploitation, which I'm assuming you're against. Are you against animal exploitation?
No.
No?
No, not in general.
Do you think exploiting animals is okay for something that you don't need?
I don't believe in need. I only believe in desire. Need
It doesn't
is a
matter if you believe it
fabrication.
or not.
It
Need
does.
need literally means that if you wouldn't to have this, you
Yeah.
would die. Do you think you can thrive without animals and without animal exploitation?
People don't live not to die.
Do you think you can thrive without exploiting animals?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay,
But
so
in
then-
order to
so then
change,
exploiting
no.
animals is optional.
No. In order to change my behavior, I need to have a more appealing alternative, or else I'm not going to do it. You need stimulation for action.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Wait, so are you saying that a
Yeah.
person who rapes women needs
Yeah.
to have an alternative stimulation, or does he?
Yes, he
should
needs
just
to have
stop?
yes, he needs to have an experience that educates him to live a different life. That's
Well,
what he needs.
What are you talking
yes.
about? Experience to
How
educate
do you mean?
him?
What are you talking about? There are 1,000 things you could be doing right now. All the things you're doing this because you've had particular experiences. So yes, you need stimulation for motivation for different actions. Yes.
No, let's just talk pretty clear, because I know you're trying to talk in generalities, and I know I
It's
don't
not
know
a
exactly
generality,
what
it's
you mean.
true,
But
it's
like,
true.
let's talk about it this way, right?
Yeah.
You don't need, again, we've established we don't
Yeah.
need animal exploitation in order to thrive, right?
I don't go along with this need reasoning.
Okay,
It's
you-
a lot of people feel motivated to do.
Do you acknowledge that you can thrive without exploiting animals?
Not without proper motivation.
Do you acknowledge that a
Do you
person can
acknowledge that
thrive
people need
without exploiting?
motivation?
I'm not asking what
You don't
motivates.
care about
Listen,
motivation.
before we get into what motivates people to do
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
I'm asking you: do you think that you, as an individual, can
Yeah.
thrive without exploiting animals? Whether you have motivation to
already
do
answered
so
the
or not,
question.
whether you have motivation to do so
Yeah.
or not, doesn't matter. Do you think you can thrive without exploiting animals?
Yes, and I answered the question
Okay,
already.
so you think you can thrive without exploiting animals?
Yes,
Do you
and-
think
yeah.
that then, when you're choosing to exploit animals, do you think
Yeah.
that you're doing something that is wrong because you
Yeah.
are exploiting innocent sentient beings for something that you want?
Are you asking me or are you telling
I'm
me?
asking you. Do you think that is wrong to exploit animals, given that you are choosing to do so, given that you like? Let's put it this way: if you were to find a dog over here and you wanted to kill him, would
Yeah.
that be right to you to kill him?
Depends on the context.
The context is just a dog, they're just existing here, and you want to kill them and eat
Yeah.
them. Would that be right to do so?
If I would find it desirable, yes, I would deem it right. Yes.
So do you only think that what is right and wrong is based on what you find desirable or undesirable? Do you think that rape is right because if somebody finds it desirable, if you find the rape desirable, is rape okay?
I don't believe in objective right and wrong.
No, I'm asking
I'm
you
not a moral
according to your.
objectivist.
I'm asking you
I
according to your
answered.
own morals.
Yeah, I answered.
No. You answered to me. You
Yeah.
don't believe in objective morality. I'm asking
Yeah.
you. Okay, I don't care what morality you believe
Yeah,
in.
what do you
do
think?
have
Yeah.
moral values, right?
Yeah.
So according to your own moral values,
Yeah.
is it right or wrong to rape a person?
In general, I find it undesirable.
So you find it right or wrong?
I just answered. I'm not going to answer the answer you want me to give because it's a complicated question.
So you cannot answer right or wrong if rape is right or wrong. You cannot
I
make a
answered the
definite. You cannot
question.
make a definitive statement
I
that
made a
that
definitive
forcefully penetrating somebody's sexual organs
Yeah.
is against their will is wrong.
I
You
already-
think it
yeah.
can ever be right?
Yeah, but you're asking me the question, right? You're not telling me the question.
No, I'm
right?
asking you. Can
Okay,
it
then-
ever be
okay.
right?
Yeah. I think it kind of depends on the context.
Please explain to me when rape can be right.
Well, if someone would hold a gun to your head and ask you to rape a person, and the person says, if you don't rape him, I'll have him raped by an elephant, so you rape the person, I think that that's the more desirable option.
Let me
that's
ask you,
an
please.
example,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
Okay, please explain to me when choosing to rape is right.
Well, you would have to make the choice to do it.
Ah, come on.
No, not come on.
Come on, you're just.
Think
This is so
about what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. No, it's
this
not
is so ridiculous
ridiculous.
because you're saying, well,
Yeah.
somebody has a gun pointed to your head.
Yeah, it's an
Therefore,
example, yeah.
do you really have a choice? No, you don't, because you don't want to die. Therefore, you will choose
always
to
have
do
a
whatever.
choice. You
are
can choose
you are
to
forced.
die.
So you don't believe in force. Nobody's
No,
forced.
No, you can force, but like in such
So
a
if you have a gun to your head, you are not forced to do something.
I think you're compelled to do something, but
So you
you're
are
going to make
forced.
the choice. Yeah.
So you are forced to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm not talking about forced
Yeah, but
rape.
that
I'm
doesn't mean
talking
you
about
don't have a
choosing to
choice.
rape.
Yeah, but the fact that you're forced,
You
like,
don't have a choice because you would otherwise
but
die, right?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, people can force you to make certain choices, but you're still making the choices, whether you're forced to make the choice or not.
If people are forcing you to make choices, how can you still make the choices if you're forced to make choices?
Because you've been compelled to make the
Choice literally implies you choosing, not being forced into one or the other.
Can I answer? Like, because you're being compelled to make the choice through violence or the threat of violence. It's not so complicated.
Well, what would happen if you don't make the choice?
Like in the example, for
Yeah.
example. Well,
You would
Y-
cease to
yeah.
exist.
yeah. For example, maybe someone. Maybe
Yeah,
someone
with a
kills
gun to your head, as you
Yeah.
put it, you would cease to exist.
Those things happen.
So
Sometimes,
in order
yeah.
for you to
Yeah.
continue your existence,
Yeah.
you have to do something, right? In all other situations,
Yeah.
when you are not forced, when your existence is not on the line, do you think rape is ever moral?
Okay, can I answer? Okay,
That's why I asked.
so the way I already answered that question, but what I
didn't.
wanted, yes I did, but what
You want around it.
But what I want to say is, people, as I see it, right? They don't want to exist unconditionally. There could be people that say, okay, so you kill me if I don't, for example, rape that cat. There are people that would say, okay, fuck it, then kill me. You know, so I just wanted to say that, like, you have to be compelled to make a certain choice. It's not, okay, if it's gonna kill me, I'm just gonna do it. No, that's not how people work in general.
I disagree, but let's go on. Let's
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
I disagree. I don't think choice is. I don't think. I think when we talk about choices, you are taking it into an absolutist position where you say, well, everything is a choice. Sure, you can talk about that, but then if we talk about the realistic definition of choice, which is when you choose, when you have options and you choose, not
Yeah.
when somebody's forcing you or you only have one option. Sure, you
Yeah.
can still call that a choice, but it's not really a choice. It's just an option. It's just you're forced into a direction.
No, but you
So-
always choose based on priorities.
So either
right?
way, I'm not here to talk about choice, right? I'm here to
Okay.
talk about your values, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
according to your own values, you say that rape is sometimes justified, right? And I'm asking
Yeah.
you, outside of a situation when you are forced, or when somebody has a gun to your head, when you are in a situation where somebody poses violence to you, is
Yeah.
there any reason why rape would ever be moral in other situations? According to your own values.
Okay, then I'll answer. Um,
It scares me that you take so long to think about
no,
this.
I'm thinking of it. Scares me that it's so easy for you to give simple answers to this.
Yeah,
to
rape
these
is
questions.
wrong.
Okay, but how
You may be forced to do wrong things,
Yeah.
but rape would still be wrong. I may be
yeah.
forced to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a desert island situation. I will kill a human being to survive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that me killing that human being is right. I was just
Yeah, but
forced. I
why
was
do
in a
you-
situation
but-
where I had
okay.
to do the wrong thing.
But why do you
So I'm
reason
asking
that
you
way?
according to
Why do you have such weird way of reasoning? Like, so this is
my way of
Yeah,
reasoning
okay.
is weird.
No,
really?
okay, no.
My
no.
way?
So
Because
wait.
I say rape is wrong is
No.
is weird.
So this is the thing. I would say, right, that killing and violence and war and rape, right? I would say that those things, or generally, like 99% in my mind, right, undesirable and revolting. That's what I would say, right?
Undesirable.
Yes.
Why can't you use right and wrong?
Because right and wrong are
Moral or
wait,
immoral?
I'll tell you why. Right and wrong are, as I see it, bullshit excuses for people to promote what they find desirable.
No, my
And
God,
to
I'm asking
condemn
about
what
your
they
own
find
values,
undesirable.
dude. I'm asking about
I'm
your own
talking about my
values.
values.
Yeah. So,
Listen, I'm talking about them.
okay, you're just using a desirable as a synonym for right or for wrong. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I can use desirable. Okay, desirable. Okay, according to your own values, rape is undesirable. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is
Most-
killing
yeah.
animals undesirable also according to your own values?
Um,
Let's continue on the same train of thought. Is
yeah.
raping animals
yeah.
okay undesirable or desirable according to your values?
It's undesirable, I think.
It's
Yeah,
undesirable.
in general, yeah.
It's undesirable. Okay.
yeah.
So then, do you acknowledge that when you are paying for animal products, you are paying for animals to be raped, and it is undesirable according to you? So why do you do it?
Because as I see it, firstly, I enjoy the taste.
So if you enjoy if the enjoyment
I wasn't
that you
finished
get,
answering.
Okay.
Yeah. So firstly, I enjoy the taste. That's the reason why I buy an animal product and eat the product. And secondly, because in my reasoning, the animal product is a remnant of the animal that died. If I don't eat the product and enjoy it, the animal has died for nothing.
The animal has not died. The animal was killed.
Yeah,
Why
then
was the animal
yeah.
killed?
Yeah, but if you're killed,
Why
you
was the
died.
animal killed?
If you're killed, you died.
Why was the animal
if you're
killed?
killed, you died.
Okay. Why was the animal
Yeah.
killed?
For profit.
Okay. And
Yeah.
who pays for that?
I do.
Okay, you.
Yeah.
So the animal was killed because of you.
No. No, you have a really weird logic.
Do you think you have a responsibility in the fact that animals get killed in animal agriculture?
Certainly not. Not a responsibility, no.
No. So you paying for it means nothing.
No, I'm not saying
Let's put it
means-
this way: if
Can
there
I
were only
answer?
people like me
You asked
in
the
this world,
question. Can
if
I
there
answer?
were, please stop answering. Can I answer?
but
It
you
just
said-
answer.
so you paying
It's,
for it
it's
means
really
nothing.
it's really
Then
annoying
don't
when
ask
somebody
more-
says, "Can I answer?
Then
Can
don't
I answer?
ask rhetorical questions.
Can I answer?"
Yeah, okay, but then don't ask rhetorical
Can I answer?
questions.
I'm just trying to grasp your values, man. You do seem to not think what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
You do seem to think that rape is sometimes justified.
Yes,
You
in
do
certain
seem to
cases,
think.
yeah.
You seem to
Yeah.
think all of these situations, and I'm trying to grasp what, like, because you don't seem to understand the whole perspective. If there's only people like me in this world, only vegans,
Yeah.
do you think animals will still be killed in animal agriculture?
No, but the world.
Okay, so if there's only people like me, but if
Yeah.
there's only people like you,
Yeah.
would animals still be killed in animal agriculture?
Well, if there's only people like me,
Yeah.
I don't think that animals would be killed in agriculture because I'm not good at the trade and I wouldn't personally kill an animal for food.
No, but you pay others to do it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
people like you. I'm not saying people you, not
Yeah.
all the ways like you. People like you in the specific thing that we're talking about, which
Yeah.
is animal products, right?
Okay,
if
but
there's
are
only
you-
people who consume
Yeah.
animal products,
Yeah.
like, you have to infer from the context that we're talking about, man. You don't have
Okay,
to
but
keep talking about
you're-
absolutist things.
No, okay, but
you're not AI, right?
No, but you're talking
even
in,
ChatGPT
you're
can
talking
infer
in you're
context,
talking in
you know?
absolutes because you want me to say it's right or wrong. You don't want me to say in some cases it might not be
No,
wrong.
I'm asking you in situations, in a day-to-day situation,
Yeah.
right? You are paying for animal products in a day-to-day situation. In this day-to-day situation, you
Yeah.
have alternatives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How can you ever morally justify
Yeah.
paying for animals to get killed
Yeah.
when you can choose not to?
Well, for my personal sense of justice. I find it acceptable. They've already been killed, so I will enjoy their remnants.
Would you
Their
find it
remains.
acceptable in the same situation if it were humans? For you to pay for humans to get killed,
Yeah.
if in the same situation, exactly the same situation.
I'm not-
Humans are being farmed.
Can I respond to what you're saying?
Let
Because
me finish
you're taking a lot of time. All you have to do is ask the question.
I just want to finish the situation, okay? I want to be
Finish
clear
the
with the
situation.
situation.
Okay, yeah.
Humans are farmed
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like animals are farmed.
Yeah.
You pay for it in a supermarket. Of course, the thing that you pay comes from a dead human,
Yeah.
but when you pay for it, another human gets killed on your behalf. So
Yeah.
I'm asking you, would you pay for that knowing that you have other alternatives?
When it comes to humans, honestly, because I give you, okay, honestly,
I'm asking you a question. I don't know.
perhaps I would.
Perhaps you would. So
Yeah.
you would pay for people to get. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in having this conversation with you anymore. If you pay for people to.
Yeah, but that's just bigotry. And I'm not gonna have questions by a bigot, so I'm leaving. You're a bigot.
I'm a bigot.
Yeah, you are.
Because I don't accept somebody who wants
No,
to kill
because you
humans
won't
for
even let me
pleasure.
answer. You won't even let me.
You're okay with killing
engage
humans
with
for
your
pleasure,
questions.
man. You're okay with killing humans for
That's
pleasure.
not what I said. See,
Yes,
you're
you
not
said
even-
you
no,
would.
see,
You said you
you're
would
not even
farm
listening.
humans.
No, I said maybe.
Yes, you said you would
But you
maybe
like-
farm
no,
humans.
but you like absolutes. You like yes or no.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
said in a
telling you,
day-to-day situation.
Sometimes, perhaps, yes.
I said in a day-to-day situation, in
yeah,
a normal
but every day
situation.
is different, smartass.
Ah,
Yeah, you know.
I'm not interested in having this conversation with you anymore. Yeah,
It's
sure.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can't even listen to answers.
Sure, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're undesirable.
Keep lecturing people.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, everybody, we're having some issues with the technical side. That was a bit ridiculous, was it not? That was a bit ridiculous. Can you guys hear me? Oh, really? You sound good. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for, first of all, thank you for the Super Chat 6. That was rough, Chip. Well done. Thank you so much. Yes, it was rough. You know, I freaking hate people like that. I hate people who you ask simple questions and they want to discuss in absolutes because they all of a sudden cannot infer fucking context. They're literally worse than fucking ChatGPT version 3, which already inferred context. It's freaking ridiculous. Imagine how ridiculous it is that you can't grasp the sheer fact of concept of a day-to-day thing, that you have to explain every single variable to somebody in order to get a right answer from them. And then when you get the answer, they answer with, no, there's no such thing as right and wrong. There's just undesirable and desirable. Oh, go fuck yourself. Sorry, everybody, for the language. It's just ridiculous. The conversation was extremely weird. Like again, banging your head against the wall. Yeah, you know, actually, at some point, I realized that the conversation. I'm like, I'm not. I don't want to have this conversation with this person anymore. Yeah, I just don't. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. Mark Walter says, "Take a breath, enjoy the music." No, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's just. Imagine the sheer ridiculousness of somebody to live a day-to-day world like that, right? To have that, yeah. DJR says he could grasp it, but obfuscating to evade culpability. That's what it seemed to me also. It just seemed to me like he wanted to find situations, like he couldn't give answers because he knew what it was about. Like, I wish I could do the social experiment on that person before he knew what it was about. Probably would have been different. Ben says, gotta go. I might come back in 30-40 minutes. Benji, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. Whew. Oh, that's a good one. Ask him about age of consent. I'm sure he will be shocked. Yeah, that's a very good one. I'm curious about age of consent. I mean, this person was saying that rape is justified, for fuck's sake. He couldn't make a definitive statement about rape being bad or wrong. That's insane to me. That's insane. Who wouldn't make that statement? Oh my God. And hey, everybody, thank you for being here. And I hope you're enjoying the conversations. Here's a medal for his moral gymnastics. Good one, the LTN. The can I answer was brilliant. Yeah, can I answer? Can I answer? God, that's annoying. Luckily, I'm still calm. Actually didn't trigger me at all, this person, but funny. Adam J asks, where in the world are we? We are in Amsterdam, Adam JS, in Museum Square. If money was no object, what would be your dream mosque for your town or neighborhood? Dream as big as you can. I wouldn't want to put a mosque in my neighborhood. I wouldn't want to put a mosque. I wouldn't want to put a church. I wouldn't want to put any form of religious building in my neighborhood if money was no object. I'm just saying, not because, even if I were to be religious, I believe religion can be a personal choice for everybody. It shouldn't be taught to children. I don't think children should be ever taught religion. And if anybody as an adult who was not brought up in a religious context all of a sudden believes that they want to believe that 2,000 years ago somebody rose from the dead so that you can masturbate in your spare time and not get sent to a place where you will burn for all eternity for something that you did, I don't know, at the fraction of time, of existence of time, then let them believe that if they want to believe that. It doesn't hurt anybody. But if you're teaching kids that, then it hurts people. Yeah. So don't teach kids. Don't teach kids about religion. If you really, my opinion, if you are religious yourself, that's fine. If you believe in God yourself, that's fine. If you want to baptize your child when they're young, fuck it, do that. If that's what you think is right to do so. But don't make choices that they themselves will have a difficulty getting out of. It's the same with animal products. Don't make choices for your kids that they would have a difficulty getting out of. I mean, I think a lot of people who have listened to this stream, who have been on this stream, have noticed that most people who come up with excuses, the excuses that they come up with is, well, I've been doing it my whole life. It's so difficult to change. Yeah, well, then your parents were shit parents for forcing you in that situation, right? Your parents were shit parents for not teaching you how to change. Oh my God, this cable again. I'm sorry, everybody. How's the sound now? Is the sound okay? Ricky Tiki Taffy. Bible speaks of men like this. Yeah, of men speaking the truth. You know what? And I believe, personally, just my opinion, that if you think and you have such a strong conviction in your religious beliefs, it's fine. That's perfectly fine. Then you should also believe that your child will reach the same places as you have, or the same place where you are right now, by simply not raising them on religious beliefs, right? It's as easy as that. Or on beliefs that animals are to be exploited. It's pretty simple. Try to put values in your children, the best values that you can, to prepare them for the world. Not for what you want them to be, okay? It's very important and it's very distinct. You're not vegan? That's fine, you don't have to be vegan. Well, you should, but if you don't want to, far be it from me to force you in that situation. But if you have a child, please raise them vegan. Please show them the understanding that animals are not objects for us to be used and exploited. Because you know what, at some point they might wake up, like I did, like all the other people did, and they say, what the hell have I been doing for my whole life? Who taught me this? This is ridiculous, this is wrong. So yeah. Don't put your children in that situation. Don't put them in the same situation that most of you are. Yeah. Chris said this should not be a choice. I believe it should not be a choice, Chris. I believe it is a moral obligation, yes. But I do acknowledge that legally it is a choice, that some people see it as a choice, right? I still think it's a wrong choice to make, but I can't force people into making that choice. So all I'm saying is that even if you as an individual believe that it should be a choice, even if you as an individual believe that it should be a choice whether you force animals into slaughterhouses or not, which I don't think it should be again. But if you believe so, and you so with your whole heart believe that, then you should still raise your kids vegan and raise them to understand the values, what animals are, the fact that they are sentient, the fact that they're no different to us. And then when they get old enough, if you believe it's a choice, they can make the choice themselves without being forced into a direction or another, right? It's pretty simple. I know milking cows that are treated better than sheep treat strangers on the street, says Thomas. I doubt it. I have not killed absolutely any individual on the street so far. I have not raped any individual on the street so far. And all that happens to dairy cows. I have not stolen any babies from anybody so far. And all that still happens to dairy cows. There you go. So I doubt it. Hey Alexandra, nice to see you here. Daniel Berg asks, what happens to the animals we don't need anymore? Daniel Berg, we don't need any animals. You guys want to try a social experiment? Yeah, see, Novak Djokovic lives on a plant-based diet. Carl Lewis also did when he won the Olympics. There's a lot of athletes who live on a plant-based. I think there's a vegan athletes website where they name a lot of the vegan athletes. Looks cold as fuck. Yeah, it is cold. Motivates me to go out tomorrow, although it's snowy here in Berlin, says Alexandra. Alexandra, I will also probably go again tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping. Today was really cold. Yes, I am cold still. You guys want to try a social experiment? I just ask you some questions, that's it. I just ask you some questions, that's it. You okay? Okay, you okay being live for my YouTube channel? Can you come a little bit closer, so that you're... What's your names?
My name's Joas.
Yours?
Sophie,
Sophie. Okay, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Netherlands.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's based on the based on the accent that sounded like. Okay, so what's your take? What do you think about oppression? If you don't know what something is, you can ask me.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. I mean, it's almost always bad.
It's almost always better. It's oppression.
Onderdrukking.
Oh!
Oppression literally means cruel or unjust treatment or exercise of authority, right? So it means treating somebody cruelly or showing authority over them. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
Well, no.
Yeah, let me put it this way. If there's an individual who has power, whether that's intellectual or physical power, do you think they should be allowed to oppress somebody who has no power?
I think not.
No. Okay.
Of course
okay.
not.
So they should not have that right. Okay. What if they benefit from oppressing them? Like the person with power benefits from oppressing. Does that make it okay? Should they have the right to do?
No, still no.
Still no. Okay. And what if the individual being oppressed does not realize that they're oppressed for some reason?
I mean, it's still not good, but the person self isn't able to do anything about it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. They're not able to do anything about it.
But
It still makes oppression wrong, right?
yeah.
And of course, you know, in our day-to-day lives, in the world that we live in, there's inherent oppression that we participate in, right? Like systems of oppression, right? You buy a clothes, you buy a phone, you are going to support some part of oppression, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But do you think that when you're presented with a choice that provides less or no oppression at all, that you have a moral obligation to choose the one that has no oppression?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so how do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us? The animals that we exploit, that we use, that we treat like objects for food, for clothing, for entertainment. Do you think that we're oppressing them?
I mean, I think yes. But yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that if you're against oppression, then do you think that you should also try not to participate in it by not buying animal products?
I mean, I think you could do that. You could see it away. I I mean, it's all your own choice, more or less. But yeah, I would still buy animal products because it's just, yeah, the nutrients is pretty good.
But you said you said the powerful should not have the right to oppress the powerless. So why do you think that you should have the right to oppress animals?
I think we should oppress animals. They should be more freely, but I don't think we should stop using products of them.
Do you think
because-
exploiting animals is not inherently oppressive?
No, that's not what I said. We need to change something about how we treat the animals, but we do not need to necessarily stop using animals products because then we don't have enough food for all the humans.
Oh, we do. Because a lot of the times we forget that we feed the animals plants, and the plants that we feed animals we could have fed ourselves directly, right? Like soy, corn. These are foods that we could have made plant-based products for us. We don't need to spend them on animals. But
But then we will miss some pretty important nutrients.
like what?
Iron.
Iron. Oh no, you can get iron from plants. There's plenty of plants who have iron.
But it's less.
Say it again.
It's you get a lot more iron from like meat than from plants.
I mean, from red meat, right? But red meat is also type 2B cancerogenic. So you gotta ask yourself, do I want to get that iron and also get my colon cancer chances increased? Or do I just want to get iron in a way that I don't get colon cancer, right? I don't know. You can get iron. You can also supplement it if you have an issue with getting it from plants, right? But either way, like, do you think any of this justifies using animals or like bringing them to life for the sole purpose of exploiting them and killing them?
No, I think that is wrong. Like keeping them captive, and that is wrong, and we need to change that.
Yeah.
I'm totally agree with that.
But how can the animal products exist without that?
I mean, you can. How do you mean? Like you can just keep a bigger farm, like more space. There are options.
But more space would still mean animals being brought for the sole purpose of being exploited and then killed. For meat, any animal gets killed. For dairy products, animals get killed.
I mean,
For eggs, animals get killed. Absolutely every industry kills animals, but not just that. It also exploits them.
I mean, you can do it like horses. Like horses live. The other way, you know better.
Well, you have horse meat, and horse meat is like actually it's kind of way better than meat from cow because how older the horse was, how longer it lived, how better the life was, how better the meat tastes. So actually that's better than cow, but people are thinking about horse is like
But they would still be killed, huh?
yeah, but
Yeah.
they have a good life.
Did you have a good life?
Well, not yet.
What do you mean not yet? How long have you lived so far?
18 years.
Can you hold this for a second? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. So 18 years you said, right?
Yes. So I have
Would
a
it be okay for somebody to kill you now?
Well, no.
What age do you think animals are killed at?
I know, but I don't know right at this point. But I know a horse who has died to be eaten. Like, yeah.
Who was killed, not died?
Yeah, but was like really old. It had its life, and then when it died, it can be reused.
I don't think that's the case because so animals are killed the minute they get the biggest they're ever going to get, right? So when an animal stops growing, they're no longer going to keep them alive because they don't have any financial incentive to keep them alive. They kill them. What age do you think that happens? Let's ask for humans. At what age do humans stop growing? 21, 25, somewhere there.
Yeah.
At best, it's usually 18 to 21.
Yeah.
So you're about the age that you should go to slaughter, son.
Yeah.
Would that be okay for somebody to do so to you?
Depends.
It depends. You think there's an okay situation for somebody to slaughter you?
Well, I don't like my life anymore.
No, not in that situation. Not a mercy killing, no. In a situation where your day-to-day, your normal life, would it be okay for somebody to take your life?
Well, not for somebody to take my life. But if you do it to a horse, it's like
Why is it different?
The horse is like olds. The horse are like.
I don't think that is true. I don't know anything about the thing specifically that you're talking about because I don't specifically looked for the way horses are raised for it. But if they're raised for meat, then they will die when they're at their biggest because
And
that
that-
is the common.
But that's like when they're really old.
No.
I know that.
That is not true.
That's
No, all
true.
animals grow up until like all animals have puberty just like we do. They all grow up until a certain point and then they no longer grow. It's
Yeah,
not
but-
horses don't grow throughout their whole life. That would be impractical.
Well,
They don't. They don't.
I know it.
It's not true though.
It's
Hey,
literally
pull
part
out your
of my
phone and
job.
ask it.
It's literally part of my job.
Your job is what?
Hoe zeg je dat in het Engels?
Slagerij.
Ja, slagerij.
But you ask Google. I would ask myself, but I don't have it. Ask Google at what age do our horses killed for meat?
Google's not the best.
I mean, come on. If you start doubting any source,
Yeah,
like
right.
at some point we're not getting anywhere, right? Like you don't have to trust me because I don't know exactly, but let's see if some.
Oh, nee, dat is Duits. Nee, dat is Duits. Never mind. A butcher.
Really?
Butcher. You're a butcher. Your work is a butcher. You are a butcher.
You're a butcher. You kill horses.
No, I'm not, but I
butcher
work
is
there.
not killing. But
It's not
that's
killing,
already
it's like,
working with that.
With the dead animals, yeah.
Yeah, we're just selling meat like that.
Mm,
60 to 340 days.
Maar dat klopt ook niet.
But regardless, let's just start on the premise that if they were to be killed way before, if they were to be used as resources, right? If they didn't live their whole life, if they were exploited throughout their life, because that's what they are exploited, right? Would you think that it's okay to do so, to participate in this?
Not really.
Not really, yeah. So do you think that you have other options? And
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other options.
exactly.
But you need to think about the product that you want and where you stand by. Well, like meat in a supermarket, it's like way younger and there's so much more
They
processed.
come from the same places. They
No.
come from exactly the
No.
same places. I've sit in
No
front of
way.
a slaughterhouse. I've seen so in front of a slaughterhouse, you see big trucks coming that are coming from big companies, and you see small trucks coming that are coming from small farms. All animals end up in the slaughterhouse. They all get killed at the fraction of their lifespan. They all get used before that. They all are brought into existence for the sole purpose of being killed for something that we don't actually need.
But the process is way different.
Who cares? Who cares about the process? Yeah, who cares? At the end of the day, the question is, and these animals are exploited. They are killed. Would you want any of that to happen to you?
No.
So then
Would
why do
you-
it to others? You don't need to.
You don't need to, no. That's your own choice.
Yeah. So why? Why would you choose that?
Why choose what?
To kill animals at a fraction of their lifespan, to exploit animals, to pay for animals to be exploited and killed on your behalf.
But I don't like meat really much. I don't really much eat it.
No, but even if you do it once a week, you're still paying for the same thing once a week. Even if you do it once a month, and let's put it this way, just to think out the perspective. Like I'm assuming you eat dairy products like cheese, like milk or stuff like that, right?
Or sometimes.
Yeah. Do you know what dairy cows go through? Do you know why cows produce milk in the first place?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why I know it or why?
No. Why do they produce milk?
Well, because people like it.
No, no,
I
no.
don't-
Why do cows biologically produce milk? I'll just say this and I'll let you go.
Because of children.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they get a child.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that way.
Yeah. So do you think farmers just allow them to get pregnant whenever they want to, or do you think they forcefully impregnate them?
Of course.
Yeah. So do you think that's already okay?
I mean, they just put a bull in the with them. It's not like forcefully.
No, standard practice is that they have this big glove. I can show you if you want. I have footage of that. They put their hands in their anus, they hold their cervix and inject bull semen in their vagina. And especially on smaller farms, it's especially prevalent on smaller farms because on smaller farms they don't have money to keep a bull alive. They just keep the cows alive. And that brings me to the next question. When the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
To what babies?
To the babies of the cows, because they have to have babies in order to produce milk. So the babies are born.
Or they become a salt, or they will get raised to be a cow later in life.
Yeah, so the first thing that happens is they get separated from their parents, from their mother, parents, because their father probably isn't there. Their mother, because the farmer needs to control how much milk they drink. Sometimes they get separated and they never see their mother again because if they're male, they don't produce milk, so they get killed because either get raised up to a year and then get killed, or get killed straight away because they're not incentivized to keep them alive. It's expensive to keep them. You have to feed them a lot. Like imagine feeding a 1-ton cow, right? It's a lot of food. We're a tenth of that, and it's a lot of money for us to keep them. Yeah, and if they're female, as you said, they get forcefully impregnated every year until the farmers can no longer impregnate them. And when that happens, when that 1 year when they don't get pregnant, they kill them because keeping them alive for another year would not be financially preferable for them. Yeah. So when you buy dairy products, this is what you're supporting. Do you want to support that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is there a part of you that says, yeah, let's do this to
Well,
them?
I am actually really trying to. Well, I love to bake, but I'm actually really trying to bake with lactose free.
Yeah, it's quite easy to do. Yeah.
Kind of in a business in my head. I'm just.
That's
going about
awesome. That's
export-
awesome. Yeah.
But I have a friend of mine, and he cannot eat any lactose, and so I thought of that, and I'm just only thinking from, where can I do it lactose free, because it's just only better.
And I understand you're thinking from the perspective of helping your friend, which is awesome, by the way, of you. But also think from the perspective of the victims, the other victims, when you're making these choices, right? Because if you're buying, let's say, milk once a week, for that once milk that you bought, one cow had to be forcefully impregnated. They had to have their babies taken from them and maybe killed, their babies. Her absolutely 100% will be sent to the slaughterhouse. Every animal in animal agriculture ends up either in a slaughterhouse or with a knife to their throat on a farm or in the slaughterhouse. Either way, it's not nice, and at a fraction of their lifespan always. So all of it is horrendous, and you don't have to trust me on this. Like, you can look it up yourself. I didn't believe that it's happening here in the Netherlands. I thought Netherlands surely is this developed country, doesn't do this. It's even worse here. There's farms here who let the baby cows starve to death because literally they don't give a shit about animals. In
Some
this
places really
in this
are
industry, animals are seen like objects. They literally use them like objects. They impregnate them, they take their babies away from them. Doesn't matter what they feel, what they want. They literally just do it for the profit and to get out the products. And when you buy these products, you're telling them that it's okay to do so because you're giving them money to do so. So if you don't want this kind of shit to happen, if your values say it's wrong to do this to animals, don't do it. That's all I'm saying. See what I mean? Go vegan and don't put animals into these positions. So what do you want to do? Because I feel like I've talked a lot. What do you guys want to do? How many more animals should be exploited and killed for you before you change?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably a bunch.
A bunch. You don't want to be zero?
Well, yeah, that's not going to happen.
You
Yeah.
gotta be realistic.
But what do you want? Because that's also important, right? Like,
Well, it's a question. You can say I want zero, but it's not realistic.
it is if you go vegan, it's zero.
Yeah, but if I'm going home, I know there's meat.
Yeah, but
I know there's
I understand
milk,
there is that,
and
but
there's
like,
trees.
you don't have to continue doing it, right? Like, I'm not saying what happens in the past happened in the past. I'm just saying don't continue participating in it. Don't continue giving them your money, because every time you do, one innocent animal goes there, and it's, you know, if you were in their shoes, you wouldn't want somebody to say, I don't know, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll think, maybe I'll not force an animal into a slaughterhouse today. Maybe, no, just for you have the choice. They don't, you know. How about this? How about I give you some resources? You guys look more into it and make choices for your own. How does that sound? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I appreciate you guys stopping by and having a chat with me. Do I give you one card or two cards?
One card.
One card is fine. Okay.
Better for the nature, you know.
Better for the nature, yes. Thank you, I appreciate that. So one thing I recommend is either you watch Dominion if you want to see what animals go through. It's pretty gruesome, but hey, if you said you're a butcher. And the other thing is the most important speech you'll ever hear. You just gotta scan this QR code. And also one more thing you have there is Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, they send you recipes every day, they help you go vegan for free. You just gotta subscribe. Are you gonna promise me you watch one of those resources? That's all I want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. Then have an awesome day. Make decisions and don't force animals into slaughterhouses. You seem like compassionate people, honestly. Like, you seem like awesome, compassionate people. You're young, I know. I'm 37, but you know my biggest regret in life is not going vegan sooner. So don't wait like me. do it.
But you're also
better.
young.
I'm young. No, I'm not saying that I'm not young. I'm just saying I wish I did it sooner. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I know. Saturday I went to a place to eat and it was like on the menu was or vegan or vegetarian, and it was so good. It
There you
tasted
go.
like so good. I don't need meat on my plate
You
in a
don't.
restaurant. It's
And not
too
just mean
big,
any
too
animal
much.
product. That's the thing. Any animal product. Keep that in mind. That's awesome. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah.
But if you want it, it's Zeta in Den Haag. It's
Zeta.
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 Yeah. Zeta.
Okay. Nice to know. Okay. Thank you for the recommendation. Yeah.
Have a
Okay.
nice day.
Thank you. You too. Cheers. Bye. I don't know about that conversation. What are you going to replace meat with? Soy? Soy decreases testosterone, says Graham Whitting. That is not true. Ali just posted a study in the chat, I think an hour ago, that showed that it does not decrease testosterone. And hey, if you have it already there, Ali, you can paste it again so that people see that there are studies showing exactly the opposite. And no, there are not studies that show that it does decrease testosterone. In fact, a lot of studies were financed by animal agriculture with the intent of showing that, but they never actually achieved that. That's the funny thing about it. Yeah, there you go. It's phytoestrogens that are weaker than. That are worse than animal estrogens in dairy, exactly. And yeah, Vegan Plant, thank you for reminding. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying the conversations. I have these conversations 2 or 3 times per week, and I don't always plan them. Sometimes I just go when it goes, so maybe you would like to subscribe and hit that notification bell, only to see when I'm online specifically. Because maybe you want to be part of the conversations yourself. There you go. Ali posted the study again. Ali, thank you so much for doing that. And you might need to keep it in handy. We might have it sometimes. Sama asks, how do I subscribe, Thais? It's pretty easy to subscribe twice. All you gotta do is make another account and subscribe with that one. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate you if you're subscribed already. I appreciate you either way. Have you heard of Arvind, animal activist from India? I have seen some of his videos on Instagram. He does amazing work. Yeah, I think like he has very much a no bullshit approach, and he speaks to people, and he's very practical about it, which I really appreciate it. So yeah. Yeah, he's really good, Arvind. Hey Ches, nice to see you here. By the way, Ches, what have you done? I know that you probably watched Dominion, right? Did you make a decision? Are you vegan now? How are you doing with that? Sensi says just popped on and already see a lion comment. Yeah, Sensi, of course we're gonna get a lot of those. You know that. You know, it's a chat about lions. That's what it is at the end of the day. We're here discussing what lions will do. It's basically the. You know how people say, "What would Jesus do?" A lot of the meat eaters say, "What would the lion do?" Huh? That's their whole motivation. What would a lion do in this situation? If a lion would do this, then I do this. You're not a baby cow, bro, says Joy Karpstrom. Yeah. This channel doesn't debate, just argue and condescend. I disagree with you, KHVG. And you guys want to try a social experiment? And KHVG, you're welcome to contact me on Instagram. My handle is RealChipGuy. And you're welcome to have a debate with me if you want to have a debate with me. Yes, Chip, I've been vegan for 4 days now and counting. Yes, I've watched the minion. Chess, that is freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. That is amazing, man. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so happy now that you said that. I'm curious about your experience, Ches. So, if you ever have like cravings or are wondering about things, write them down. And if you want to discuss them, we can do that. Because I'm curious about your experience. I'm curious to hear an experience from somebody how it was like to go vegan nowadays. Or, yeah. I won't, because all you do is tell how my doctors are wrong for recommending me my dietary lifestyle. Well, KHVG, doctors barely have nutritional training, so doctors can be wrong even if they did have nutritional training, right? It's not like if you're all of a sudden a doctor, then you're right or wrong. I'm not saying that your doctors are wrong. I'm not saying you are right or they are wrong or anybody's right or wrong. What I'm saying is that trust the science. That's all it is. Hi. Are you okay are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Hello. Nice.
What's your name?
Tai, Taii.
Taii, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Nice to meet you. I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil, nice. Okay, so Taii, let me ask you, how do you feel about animals?
Animals. I like animals. I don't have animals, but for instance, I like horses. I like cats, dogs also.
Okay. Do you think animals deserve moral consideration?
Yeah, I think they are having more consideration because people are adopting more animals nowadays. But it's true that people that's still a lot of things to improve, and it's difficult also because I like animals, but I eat animals. I'm not vegetarian.
Yeah, hence we reached that impasse, right? Do you think exploiting animals is okay?
No, it's not okay.
No. Do you think that behind meat products, behind any animal products like meat, like leather, or not just for food, for clothing, for any other form of entertainment, or do you think there's inherent animal exploitation?
Yeah, I think.
Like, do you think that is there any way to have these products without animal exploitation?
For sure, we have other kind of things to make clothes also, no?
Yeah, but like, do you think that for products of animal origin, like meat, like dairy products, like leather, do you think there's any way to have these without animal exploitation?
There are the fake leather or this or that, no?
No, but those are not animal-based products.
But this is an impasse. I don't think so.
That's true. No. It's not. So then I ask you, do you think it's possible to be against exploiting animals while at the same time paying for animals to be exploited for you?
No. It's really a bad paradox.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It's
exactly.
What we live with nowadays. Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that, and you acknowledge that it is a contradiction. So I'm curious, what is it that you want to do about this contradiction? Do you want to continue being a contradiction, like saying I'm against exploiting animals, but at the same time I pay for animals to be exploited, or do you want to stop paying for animals to be exploited?
I already considered, let's say, to be vegetarian, but it's difficult for me. I really like to eat meat, and then, but yeah, every time I think about this exploitation behind the production of meat and this and that is difficult. It's difficult because it's a paradox that we know, because when you don't know, it's easier because you are blind about, you don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because it's like
I don't think
I'm awake and about the situation, but on the other hand, I do it. No, like that's.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I think I don't think necessarily you should feel particularly bad about it. I think you should be aware that these industries have a financial incentive for you to not to know as little as possible about it, because the more you know, the less you'll want to be part of it, and the less you'll want to give them money, right?
Yeah,
it's
for
pretty
sure.
easy. It's not a conspiracy or anything. It's just how it is.
Uh-huh.
And if let's just talk a little bit about dairy cows, for example. Do you know what dairy cows go through? Do you know why cows produce milk, for example?
But what do you mean in disease? Is that true into diseases in people or?
No, I mean like literally. A cow that produces milk on a small farm, family farm. What do you think a cow goes through in order for milk to get on that table?
I don't understand well the question. or
That's
the-
okay. That's okay. Let me ask you this way: why, if you know, humans also produce milk. Why do humans produce milk?
To feed the other humans. Huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think it's the same case in the case of cows?
The cows they also produce to feed their babies. uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
do you think farmers they wait for them to get pregnant on their own, or do you think that they force impregnate the animals?
This I never thought about, but yeah, now that we talk about the industry and all these things, maybe there is a force behind it to
Yeah.
to accelerate, processes.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they call it artificial insemination, but
Okay.
it's forced insemination. It's literally the procedure. The standard procedure is that they have this big glove. That goes all the way to here. You may have seen it. They put their hand in the anus of the cow. They hold their cervix. That's why they put their hands in the anus to reach the cervix to hold it, and then they inject bull semen in their vagina.
Phew.
Yeah, that's the standard practice, and it happens small farms, large farms, all across, right?
Yeah,
If we were to do that to a human being, what would we call it?
Yeah, a rape.
Exactly, I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so after 9 months, when the babies are born, kind of similar to us, by the way, 9 months of gestation. What do you think happens to the babies?
The babies, human babies.
No,
The
cow
cows.
babies.
Yeah, then they are really food for people.
Yeah, so the first thing is they get separated from their mother on day one, so that the farmer can control how much milk they get. Because if they stay with their mother, they might drink the milk, and they need to
indeed.
sell the milk. Yes, if the baby is born male, they get killed because they don't produce any milk. If the baby is born female, then they suffer the same fate as their mother. Every year, when they get in heat, they get forcibly impregnated. Every year until the 1 year when the farmer can no longer impregnate them. That usually happens around the age of 6 to 8. And then they kill them because keeping them alive for another year would be too expensive for them. So yeah, they get killed. And they can live up to 24, 25 years. So at a fraction of their lifespan, they get killed. So that happens for milk, right? So for milk, literally a cow has to be raped, have their babies taken from them, maybe their babies killed, and then when they cannot be raped productively anymore, they get killed. This is for milk. For meat, it's very similar, but they don't get repeatedly raped. They just get raped once, killed, raped, killed. Do you think this is something that aligns with your values?
No, really not.
No.
No.
But sadly, we were lied to by these industries and told that, hey, it's okay to do this to animals. We just do it in a humane way or whatever they say it, but none of it is humane, none of it is nice, and no animals want to be in that position. So me bringing this to your attention, I kind of want to see some change from you. So my question is, do you want to change or do you want to keep participating in this?
I want to change. I want to improve, of course.
I
think
appreciate that.
we are here to do something better in this world.
You'd be surprised how few people want to change, so wanting to change is an extremely important part of it, and also changing is an extremely important part of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you just this one final question: how many more animals should be exploited for you before you change?
Yeah, this is difficult because, as I told you, the project to stop eating meat is difficult for me. I'm lactose intolerant,
Yeah.
so I don't drink
Dairy
milk.
pro- yeah.
But so I go for another lactose-free milk or
Yeah.
soya milk or so.
It's already good. Yeah.
But I should try to consider more this and try to really go for other path because it's not nice. And also when we see documentaries about this, it's very sad.
Yeah. But do you think that if you were in their position, would you want the other person to say, I'll try, or do you want the other person to say, no, I'll stop?
Yeah, I think we should give a try. For
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And I mean, obviously, by the way, I'm vegan. Do you know what being vegan means?
Yeah, vegan is different from vegetarian. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Do you know what
really-
it means to be vegan?
Yeah, that you don't eat really. I have a teacher who said that she doesn't eat anything with eyes, no?
Yeah,
that
that's a
has
good one.
eyes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But it's vegetarian. Vegan
Yeah.
is even further, that you don't eat even anything dairy or
Yeah.
so.
So vegan literally means not being against exploitation of animals. It means saying that animals are not here for. Do you think animals are here for us? As in, they
No.
exist on this world for us, or do you think they exist on this world with us, like at the same time?
With us, yeah.
With us, exactly. So you see, that's the mentality that every vegan has. It's just that we follow through with it. That means, obviously, I'm not gonna. If I believe that animals are not here for me, then I'm not gonna pay for them to be exploited for something that I don't need, right? Like we don't need any animal products. Therefore, I will not pay for animal products because I don't want animals to be exploited. Because my values say that animals are here with me, not for me. You see what I mean? So it's this mentality. So you seem to have the mentality there. You seem to have the values there. You just got to go with the action where you're not paying for animals to go into these places anymore, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Even it's hard for me now to say like, from tomorrow on I will do, but I think it's a very important discussion, and also that people are awake about this. And
Yeah,
that,
and it's important that we flip the switch from seeing animals as resources, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
important
for
that
sure.
we stop, because if it were the case of dogs or cats or horses, as you said, right? We see them as these individuals. We see them as behind those eyes there's a somebody. But there's a somebody also behind the eyes of a cow, behind the eyes of a chicken. We just disregard it completely because these industries, as I said, they have a financial incentive to disregard it. They treat them like objects, and they don't want to tell you. You just see this neatly packaged product in the supermarket, but behind it, there's immense suffering. There's a lot of exploitation. And when you're paying for it, you're paying for all the suffering and exploitation. And if you don't want to pay for that, you just gotta stop paying for all of it. You see what I mean?
yeah, indeed.
Can I give you some resources to help you out?
Yeah.
Are you here in Amsterdam as tourists, or do you live here?
Tourists. I
Tourists.
live in Belgium. Yeah.
Okay, well then let me give you also. Can you hold this for a second?
Yeah.
I have. This is a map of Amsterdam with vegan restaurants.
Okay.
I recommend the vegan sushi bar. It's delicious. I don't normally like sushi, but this one is made with black rice. It's healthy. It's super nicely made. Absolutely delicious. Super recommended. But yeah, you have several vegan.
We are here in the museum.
Yeah.
Square, so this is more.
Yeah, it's not all of them. Not all the. These aren't all the vegan restaurants. There's just some that I would recommend.
Yeah.
Also, Soil is really nice. They have some really good food. And if I could tell you something, Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist. They send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan, all of it for free. And there's a thing here, if you go to veganfuture.org, that is called The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. It's just literally on the first page, it's a video. Can you promise me you'll watch that? It just teaches you about all the practices,
I
like you
will
didn't know
check it
about
out.
dairy,
Yeah.
honey, and all this other stuff. And then you make choices for yourself. I cannot police you going for it. I just hope that you make
for
the
sure.
right choices.
But you think as a vegan you get all the proteins and because I have also I know I have friends that they are vegan, vegetarian, and
Yeah.
carnivore.
Yeah.
But it become always for this discussion. Being vegan or vegetarian, you don't get all the proteins that you need to have. Historically, we are also animals who ate animals in the
Yeah.
past. But in the past we did a lot of barbaries also. That is also.
I love it. You're right. You're right.
That's not, we cannot compare. In the past we killed the people when we
Exactly,
no, like
exactly,
it was not
exactly.
okay. But do you think that being vegan, we get all the
So
nutrients necessary for
yeah.
being health?
Yeah. So I'm actually studying to be a certified nutritionist, and yeah, one of the things you learn is that you don't need any animal products to survive or to thrive. You can absolutely all 9 essential amino acids are present in all plants. Of course, certain plants have certain variations of it, right? But as long as you eat a normal diet throughout the day, you will get everything that you want. I have been talking to people, you know, at my gym. I go to the gym every day. I have been talking to people in the gym who consume animal products, who eat not enough protein, and they still then consume animal products. So there's no guarantee that if you eat animal products, you will get protein or all the nutrients that you need. Just like there's no guarantee if you are going to eat vegan, you're going to eat all the protein or all the animal products, all the nutrients that you need, right? You still have to pay attention to some of them. The only thing that you cannot get from plants is B12, and there are certain foods that are fortified with that nowadays. But I just you can take a supplement once or twice per week, and that should be enough. But otherwise, yeah, absolutely everything you find from plants, you can get from plants. And that's why I said, like, Challenge 22, they can help you out with how to plan all that and learn how to do all
learn
that.
more. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you can absolutely get it. Like, personally, I had 130 grams of protein today, and I only had 2 meals. So I'm gonna have, by the end of the day, at least 200 grams of protein. So protein, you can definitely have it easily. And every other nutrient, as long as you have a healthy, varied diet, you're gonna get everything that you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna check it. That's nice
Yeah.
to have this kind of talk and people talk with you here.
People talk with me. Some people talk with
Okay,
me. Yeah,
because
not
of
everybody's
the-
as
not
open-minded.
everybody, but
And I also I tell open-minded people like yourself, you have a more of a responsibility, sadly. So
Yeah, indeed. Because if you don't know, it's easier to say like, I didn't know.
Exactly.
But if you know and you, he was a vegetarian. He's laughing because.
I was vegetarian for a very
indeed.
long time, more than 20 years, until I met her,
Yeah.
in a way.
Until you met her. Okay.
Until
So.
I met her, and
So
then
in a way, imagine that
slowly-
he said.
But now's the occasion both of you can go vegan. There's no need for any of this.
He said that I pushed him in a bad path.
So watch
Instead of.
watch that video. Watch that video.
Yeah,
You
okay,
will
I
enjoy
have
it.
the-
Let me also give you my card so that you have my YouTube channel. And
Okay, nice. And then we
yeah.
keep in contact. I'm a singer. I will also check your channel.
sorry.
And,
Yeah. You also have my Instagram here.
Your Instagram and your channel. Okay.
If you scan this QR code, you have exactly the same thing, and you have the most important speech you'd ever hear. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the speech.
Okay.
It's
And
you
your
just gotta
name
scan
is?
this. My name is Chip.
Okay, okay, perfect. We will be awake about
Okay.
these things.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you're gonna make the right choices. You seem like compassionate, open-minded people, which is
Yeah,
awesome
for
to
sure.
see.
It's important. And one by one, we can change this
That-
world. eh?
that's
That
how we
is
make the world a better
unique
place.
way to do it.
Yeah. Thank you so
For
much
sure.
for having this conversation with me. And
Thank you very much.
hey, have an awesome time
Have a
in
nice
Amsterdam.
day, yeah.
Bye. I had a good feeling about this conversation, yeah. Like and subscribe, says Chase. Yes. I have a good feeling about this conversation. They both seem like open-minded people. Yeah, Alexandra said 10 out of 10 you vegan. I also think they're gonna go vegan, yes. So it's highly contingent if they watch the video. If they watch the video, they will go vegan. Yes, I'm 100% sure they'll go vegan. Yeah. She said she was single. I don't know if she was single. She was actually with a guy right over here. But as I said, I don't really care about that when I'm here. But yeah, Martin says good conversation. So hey, everybody, thank you for being here, by the way. And I appreciate everybody for being here. And I hope if you're enjoying this, subscribe and like the video, the stream. M asks, why should I eat plant-based only? Well, I can answer you that question. It's pretty easily because you have the alternative. You have the choice to eat plant-based, right? So it's pretty easy why you should make that choice, because every time you don't make that choice, every time you choose an animal-based product, one innocent animal is exploited and slaughtered for you. and on your behalf. And if you don't want that to happen because, you know, maybe perhaps you value innocent individuals, but perhaps you value freedom, perhaps you value equality, perhaps you think animals are should be morally considered. If you believe any of that, then you should probably not force any animal into a slaughterhouse, not exploit any animal, and just choose plant-based. It's as easy as that. M says you can eat animals without abusing them. M, you are pretty much, if you say you can eat animals without abusing them, wouldn't killing necessarily involve some form of abuse? And I never mentioned abuse in this situation, by the way. I literally just said exploitation and slaughter, which happens in absolutely all animal agriculture. Hey, decidedly, Donna, nice to see you here. So M, in order to finish the response, it's as easy as that. In animal agriculture, animals will be exploited and slaughtered for you. And if you want to see it as abusive, it is abusive in my opinion. Forceful impregnation alone is abusive. Taking somebody's life against their will is abusive. Treating somebody like a resource is abusive. Keeping somebody against their will is abusive. From my perspective, but you know what? Apparently a lot of people have a problem with the word abuse, so let's not use the word abuse. But all you can know is that would you want to be in their shoes? That's the question. Would you want to be in the shoes of the animals who are exploited and killed for you? Because if you wouldn't, then it's pretty easy. Don't put them in those situations. Don't be the person who pays for their exploitation. Don't be the person who supports animal oppression. Don't be a speciesist. Don't be a speciesist. Very important. Speciesism is the root of all the issues that we have with animals. Speciesism is the root. It's the mentality that certain species are here for us, that certain species are for ours to do whatever we want with them, that certain species are not morally worth, although we say they are, our actions say otherwise. Are plants a species? Plants are not a species of animals, for sure. And plants are not sentient either way. Antonio asks thoughts on crop deaths. Antonio, crop deaths are freaking horrible, you know? But crop deaths are nothing more but incidental deaths. They're nothing more but deaths, just like there are deaths when you build a canal, when you build a road, when you build a house. Animals will be killed in that process, sadly so. Do I wish it didn't happen? Yes. Can I stop it? I mean, it's a systemic issue. I could try to fight for it, right? I could protest it. And at some point, I think we should. But how can we ever fix the systemic issues? How can we ever fix crop agriculture? Can we fix crop deaths when we're literally killing animals, exploiting animals for something that we don't need? Like, how can you ever bring a justification to say, hey, when you're cropping, when you're producing food, can you please stop killing the animals? Animals should be morally considered. How can you say that to a person who probably they themselves participate in animal exploitation? You can't. They'll just be like, what are you talking about? Animals are here for us. We can do whatever we want with them. Whatever people say. Yeah. Crop deaths are done intentionally through insecticides. Well, they are done intentionally, but it can be both incidental and intentional. You realize that, right? I don't think they are not done intentionally in the sense that no person who kills animals for crops kills them because they want to kill the animals. They kill them because they want to protect the crops. That's what I mean. That's the difference, right? It's not like, whereas animals in animal agriculture, well, they're killed for their flesh. They're killed because they want to be killed, because people want to kill them. It's a difference. And yes, there are better ways of farming, just like Moonrise Studio mentioned, it can also be mechanic farming, it can be vertical farming. He killed bugs and we don't care about that. They're not sentient. Bugs are sentient. What are you talking about? I just literally replied to the whole crop deaths argument. And believe it or not, there's one bigger thing about the whole crop deaths argument which you have zero arguments against, and that is, you know, when you're using animals, when you're farming animals, you have to feed them, and a lot of the times they are fed crops. Even if 25% of their diet is crops, there's still more crops than we would have otherwise eaten. So what are you talking about? Any crop deaths that occur for... Yeah. Hi, you want to try the social experiment?
Yeah, let's try.
What's your name?
Nicola.
You want to come in...
Of course. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Nicola. I'm Chip. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel, by the way?
you. Yeah. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Can you come a little bit closer so that you're in view?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So how do you feel about animals, Nicola?
Animals?
Yeah.
I like animals. I mean, I'm...
Okay. Let me ask you about animals. I wanted to ask you about discrimination. How do you feel about discrimination?
About discrimination, I mean, as a black man, I think it's bad. Like,
It's bad.
Yeah. Just think
Do you
it's
think
bad. Yeah.
should we discriminate based on qualities that an individual is born with, like the color of their skin, like I don't know. What else? The sex that they're born with.
What? Can you simplify your question?
So should we discriminate somebody based on the color of their skin or the sex that they're born with?
Of course not.
How about the species that they're born into?
The species that the people.
Individuals, if they're a different species, I don't know, certain people don't call other species people, but I believe they are, but yeah, different thing.
Sorry, can you? What's your question?
So should we discriminate based on species?
Same. I don't think so.
Yeah. Because does anybody choose the species that they're born? Did you choose to be born human?
No, but
No. So
No.
if you were to be born a different species, would it be fair for somebody to discriminate against you because you're a different species?
no, I guess so. No.
No. What if somebody says, "Well, I'm a superior species to you. I'm smarter. Let's assume there is a different species, right?
Yeah.
And they are just as conscious as us humans. They can talk just like us, but
Yeah.
they are a different species, and they say they're superior to humans. Would it be okay for them to? And maybe they are. They have power over humans somehow.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for them to exploit humans?
No, I would say no.
Okay.
Same, yeah.
Do you think it's okay for humans to exploit animals then?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, would you consider yourself against animal exploitation?
I would not. I don't do anything for. I don't fight for it, but I would say I'm against animals exploitations. Yeah.
Okay. Do you consume any animal product?
I do. Yeah.
Do you think there's any animal exploitation behind these animal products?
I think I know there is. It's just in my. I mean, I just do it like. It's in my habits, culture and habits. I would say.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you being honest and telling me that it's culture and habit. But do you think that in order to be in line with your own values, which is not being not discriminated based on species and not and being against the exploitation of animals, wouldn't you say that you would need to stop buying these products?
I've thought about it, and I think it takes time to remove those habits from my everyday life. So I'm thinking about it, and I thought about it. For now, I'm still doing it.
But do you know why I said why I said discrimination? By the way,
Why
Do
do
you-
you,
did you-
use the word discrimination?
Did you understand the analogy that I made with discrimination?
Because you're coming from the fact that we're all from the same level, maybe.
Well, I mean, we all have consciousness, right? Animals also have consciousness, right? They're all, and we all have varying degrees of it, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can say that an intellectually challenged human being perhaps has less consciousness than we do. I don't know. Maybe I have more than you. Maybe you have more than me. I have no way of knowing, right? Like we have no way of knowing how much consciousness one has, and we have no way of measuring or distinguishing between one level of consciousness versus another, right?
Yeah,
So then we say that what values is that we have consciousness, not how much of it we do.
Yeah.
So in that sense, animals also have consciousness. So when I said discrimination, reality is, if I were to ask you, would you find it difficult to stop paying for animal products if you find out that tomorrow all the animal products in the supermarket were made from dog meat, cat meat? Would you find it difficult to stop paying for that?
I think it's easy. Like, if it was dog and cats, of course, we're close to those animals, so it's easier for us to be like, oh, I don't want to eat dogs or cats or any animals, like the pets. We call it the pets. So of course it will be easier.
So that's why I brought it up as a discrimination, right?
Yeah.
Because when we think about dogs and cats, we think, oh, it's easy for me to never do this to them. But when it comes to cows, chickens, and pigs,
of course.
somehow we see it as different. Yet the only difference is that they're a different species. But from their perspective, they might be exactly the same as cats and dogs, and maybe even us, right? So that's why I'm saying that perhaps if we don't want to discriminate, then perhaps we shouldn't be treating them any differently that we treat these other animals,
that's
right?
interesting,
So that's kind of why I brought it up. And there's actually a term for it. It's called speciesism, and it's literally the discrimination. Sorry.
No problem.
And it's literally the discrimination based on species, right? Just like racism is a discrimination based on race, speciesism is a discrimination based on species, right? And it has the same fundamental irrationality. It's the same. It comes from just drawing a line and saying these individuals are inferior to me just because they're not part of my group, and therefore they should be disregarded. You see? So it seems to me like you have the right mentality there. I just want to get to help you to change, right? Because I want you to live in line with your values, not just because I want you to live in line with your values, but because when you don't, innocent animals are exploited for you, right? And I'm here to speak on their behalf. So what would take you to make you go vegan? Like, do you know what veganism is?
Yeah, I know. What would take me? I think it just takes some discipline for myself. That's it. Like.
And do you think it's important to have this discipline sooner rather than later? Because when you don't, again, one animal might lose their life for you.
I mean, of course, it's important to have this discipline so it doesn't cause any harm to any animals. So it's just like now it's like it takes everyone to have this discipline. So
But you alone can also make a change, and you alone can also choose. Like, even in a time where, let's say, everybody would be racist, one individual can still choose to not be racist and make a difference there on their own, right? So you also alone, if we live in a world where most people are speciesists, but you alone can choose not to be that, and you alone can say no to all this discrimination, to choose to not force these animals to be exploited for you. So do you think you want to make this choice?
I will think about it. Like I think it's a journey, so I'm not gonna make a choice right now. But I will definitely think about it.
Yeah, and obviously I cannot, I cannot police you after you have this conversation after me. I can only tell you that whenever you will make this choice, you will be, first of all, making a species choice, right, where you will be discriminating against somebody, and second, one innocent animal, as a consequence of that, will be exploited and slaughtered on your behalf. So, if you were in their shoes, you wouldn't want that to happen to you, would you?
Of course.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
So how many more animals should be exploited for you before you change?
Wow, that's a tough question. Of course, I would say 0, but...
You gotta go vegan, man. So being vegan, by the way, literally means saying no to animal exploitation. It means not being a species at the end of the day. So you can choose to be that.
Yeah, I can choose. So I will think about it, and I will maybe work on it.
Okay. Are you a tourist here in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you some resources. I ask if you're a tourist because I can give you a map of Amsterdam with some vegan restaurants.
Vegan place, okay.
Yeah, I recommend vegan sushi bar. It's delicious. I keep saying to everybody, it's like freaking delicious. But yeah, I think a lot of them might be very, very good. I haven't tried a lot of them myself, so I couldn't recommend you a lot of them. And one thing I recommend is Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan for free.
Okay.
You just gotta subscribe. And on veganfuture.org,
yeah,
there is a video there called "The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear." Can you promise me you'll watch that?
I cannot promise, but I will look at it. I'll
Just
take a
watch
look.
this video. That's it.
Okay.
Promise
Okay.
me that
I
video.
cannot promise.
Why?
Because I'm not sure I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do your best. Watch that
Yeah.
video, okay? Because
Yeah.
like it just literally talks about animal agriculture. You learn about dairy, about meat, about eggs, all of it,
Yeah.
and then you make the choice if you want to be part of it.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
important that you know what you're part of.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because maybe you don't want to be part. Like I regret not going vegan earlier because I
Yeah.
didn't know a lot of the shit that was going on, and I
Yeah.
didn't believe it myself.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely everywhere. It's prevalent.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you for having this conversation with me.
No problem.
You also heard the conversation, right? Yeah.
What is your Instagram?
Oh, let me give you a card. You also have my social media there. Here you go. I'll give it to you. So you have my social media and you have the same resources. It's called The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. You just gotta scan this QR code. See, it's I think the second one.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
good day then.
Hey, you too. Bye. Everybody, I think that is it. Because, yeah, don't discriminate against animals. The freaking battery is not working well today. Or the cable is not working well. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sorry, I'm just fiddling with this to make it work. Okay. Yeah, it is working. Yeah, so the battery is okay now, but I will have to go to the bathroom. That's usually the reason why we end these streams always. But yeah. The Dark Maze says, I think live and let live. The Dark Maze, that is exactly what a vegan would do. Live and let live literally means you should be vegan, because live and let live means letting other animals also live, right? It's living and letting others live. It's as simple as that. What country is this? It's Netherlands. Thank you for being here. Moonrise Studios, as always, these are my favorite types of streams. I'm glad you're enjoying them, you know? Did you become vegan over time, or did it happen at once? Asks Borger. That's a good question. You know, when I found out what happens to dairy cows, and I fact-checked it myself, because I also read about it online, but I had to fact-check it because I was like, I don't believe that's happening. I don't believe that's true. So when I checked it myself, I realized that it is true. And then I told myself that there is no way for me to continue being part of it. There's no way for me to say, yeah, it's okay. It's not. It's so easy, really. It's you just go into a supermarket and move your hand from here to here. That's it. It's very easy to go vegan. It's very easy these days. So I know it can seem hard on this other side because, you know, change in general seems hard. Change in general seems like, oh, it's gonna be impossible. Like even, I don't know, changing the bed sheet can seem hard, right? When before that. But after you do it, you're like, hell yeah, I'm glad I did it because that was the right thing to do. And that's also veganism, kind of a weird way to put it. But you know, it is that. It's a change that once you go through, once you reach on the other side, you realize just how messed up it was that you were on that side. Just how messed up it was that you were part of something that might go against your values in absolutely any point. And I'm almost sure that absolutely everybody watching now, including the non-vegans, will say, that's not part of my values. If raping animals is not part of your values, then you should go vegan. If exploiting animals is not part of your values, then you should go vegan. There's so many of the values. I'm sure that even if you don't share any of these values, which would be weird, but even if you don't share any of these values, if you look into what animal agriculture does, if you look into what it is that you're supporting, you might find out that at least one or two of your values one of those fundamental values. I'm not talking here about, oh, these are my values, I like to sleep in or something. I'm talking about fundamental values, talking about not harming individuals, not exploiting them, not forcing them into slaughterhouses, freedom, liberty, I don't know, pursuit of happiness, all these fundamental values that most people share. If you have these, you will realize that in animal agriculture, if not all of them, most of them, or at least some of them, will be infringed on. And when you pay for it, you're basically going against your own values. So don't go against your own values. Live up to your own values. You're good people, okay? JG says beef for the win. JG, vegan beef for the win. You know, if you really want to win at life, you need to be vegan. If you really want to win at life, you need to live up to your own values. The reason why the world gets messed up, the reason why the world is fucked up is because we all don't live up to our own values. It's because we say one thing and act another. Don't do that. Say and act the way you act, and don't change what your values are based on how you act, right? Like if you like meat, I'm gonna say, well, okay, then I guess I think it's okay to exploit animals. No, it is not. It's not. Okay? It's not okay to exploit animals. You probably agree with that. Don't bite the bullet just so that you can continue doing something that you enjoy, okay? You can change. Everybody can change. What are you talking about? It's easy. And I say it, I'm not saying it's easy to diminish the hardship that you're probably feeling when you're hearing this. I'm saying it's easy to encourage you, to empower you. I'm saying it's easy because in reality, it's one of those small choices in life. And it is a pretty small choice if you think about it. You're literally just changing how you eat, literally. I know it impacts so much of your life, but come on, you changed how you eat probably when you became an adult. You change how you eat probably constantly. And of course, it's not just about food, FYI, yeah, right. It's also about clothing and entertainment, but all these other places, everybody easily agrees with them and easily changes. But when it comes to food, is the place where people say, oh no, it's difficult. No, it's not. It's not. It's just another change. You will change. You'll be on the other side and say, what now? It's easy. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I changed and I was like, what now? That was easy. What was so difficult? You know what the difficult part about being vegan is? The difficult part about being vegan is having conversations with people, explaining to them that how fucked up it is what we do to animals, and seeing all of them continuously come up with the most ridiculous excuses to continue doing it. But we've been doing it for years. How does that matter? Oh, but humans can thrive on a vegan, on a meat diet. Where do you get your protein? Oh, but cropped it. Oh, but eggs. Oh, but why? All of these arguments, you can find them online, for crying out loud. Alexander says, I love when he does this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a dick. I don't want to mock anybody, okay? It's just very important that you understand that you can thrive on a plant-based diet. Don't make choices that force animals into those situations. Just make those choices. Stop looking for excuses. What are you, excusitarian? What is this? Is this excuse hour? And you know what? I'll put it this way, okay? I'll go there. You think you're strong? You eat meat to be strong? You eat animal products to be strong? I'll go there, be strong and make changes. And it's hard. Make fucking changes if it's strong. If you're so strong. Make changes. It's as easy as that. Oh no, it's so difficult. All of a sudden, when you need to make a change, it's difficult. All of a sudden, when innocent beings are exploited for you, it's difficult. No, it's not. Okay? Make changes. Be strong. Tell me how you're strong. Chase says, I need 175 grams of protein daily. Chase, I had 130 grams of protein, I think, or between 120 and 130 grams of protein today, and I had 2 light meals. You can easily get protein. Actually, you know what? I'm a person that went from high protein with animal-based products to high protein with vegan products, and I can tell you, you can way easier get high protein with plant-based products. You know why? Because with plant-based products, you don't actually get a lot of the fat that you get in animal-based products. Animal and fat is high in calorie, and you will have a certain calorie content per day. If you're gonna fill that up with fat, then you have less caloric content to fill with protein. Therefore, it's easier if you eat less fat. And how is it easy to less fat? By eating plants and plant-based products. As easy as that. Whew. Anyway, I went on a little rant. I wanted to go. I could have had a conversation, but I decided to go on a little rant. Just everybody, yeah, don't be that person. Be a strong person, okay? Be strong and think for yourself, okay? Think for yourself. Don't just accept the justifications that somebody told you. Oh, you heard it on the news. What about avocados? What about bees? What about them? You heard it on the news somewhere that happens. What if you were to find out that if you look it up, avocados are actually way better for the environment than any beef you would ever eat? What if you were to find that out? Because that's usually the argument against avocados. What if you were to find out that for bees, there are far more insects that are exploited and killed for you when you eat animal products? What about that? What if you were to find out that absolutely all the arguments that you have against being vegan were to be debunked? Would that mean you should go vegan? I'm just asking, like literally. What if every single argument you have against veganism were to be debunked? I'm guessing you have no arguments for not going vegan then. So then you just literally are proving to yourself that you are making a selfish choice to force animals into slaughterhouses. So don't be that person. I'm sorry, just don't be that person, okay? You can do better. What about animals killed in farming vegetables, pesticides, JG? There you go, I just mentioned it. What about that? What if you were to find out that when you buy animal products, more crops are used because those animals are fed crops. Therefore, however amount of animals are killed per cropland, more animals will be killed when you will eat an animal product. Oh, simple logic, wouldn't you know it? But anyway, people like finding excuses outside of themselves to account for their reprehensible behavior, says Cornell. You're right. And we can all do better. That's Geo the hero. Yeah, you're right. Beef are zero carbon, says JG. JG. Oh my god, man. If you think beef are zero carbon, I want to be a non-vegan and drive you insane when we talk, Chip, says Alexandra. We can try that, Alexandra. If you think beef is zero carbon, you're all over the place. I'm sorry. But you have to be insane to think that. Anyway. Is a thinking species, no beliefs should be part of your identity. It just makes it that much harder to change your mind and prohibits intellectual honesty. Very well put, Ches. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be intellectually honest with yourself, and I think that's the biggest hurdle that most people have with veganism, is because they hear one thing, they have a prejudice already against the word vegan, they think it could be bad or whatever, then don't really check. And that there's a reason why when we do activism we don't mention the word veganism until later, because if you mention it at the beginning, people instantly start getting prejudicial, or they instantly start coming up with excuses, because that's just, yeah. And I don't really blame everybody. I don't think it's JG. I don't think it's your fault for being misinformed. But I do think you have some responsibility in the matter. I don't think it's your fault for thinking that beef is zero carbon, but I do think you have some responsibility in the matter to look it up. Prove me wrong at the end of the day, right? I simply tell you, prove me wrong. Prove me that any animal product you buy is not inherently worse for everybody than a plant-based version of it. Why do vegan have pencil neck? I assure you I do not have a pencil neck. I assure you I'm pretty neck thick. But thank you for asking. When you be online again? I'll be online probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow or Saturday. One or the other. So I'll see based on, I don't know, weather and all that stuff. Great representation. I'm simply sharing information but it seems to be triggering you, says Lindsay. I don't know what you're talking about, Lindsay. I'm not very. I'm only triggered by people who don't listen, and usually live. I'm not that easily triggered. People in the chat. The Vegan Plant says I'll be there. Thank you so much, Vegan Plant, and thank you so much everybody for being here. Brings me back to the end. Yeah, and Ali says pencil neck is so lame of a cope. Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta have some lack of understanding of biology to think that as a plant-based, as a vegan person, as a plant-based people, as a person who eats plant-based, that you somehow do not get all the nutrients that you need. You have to have some form of misinformation within you to think that. And I argue, you know what, even if you're not gonna go vegan, whatever it is that you wanna do, you as a non-vegan person, you don't wanna go vegan, hey, I can't force you to do that. I still think you should, but I can't force you to do that. But what I do recommend is that you look it up. At least you have good arguments on your side. Look it up. How easy is it to go vegan? Look up. How do you get all your nutrients? Look up what is it that you need. What should you supplement? What shouldn't you supplement? Because you know what? It will make you better argumentative for your position, which is maybe a win on your side. It would make you more knowledgeable of what it means to be vegan, and you might find that you might want to make a change because, you know, you probably value liberty, justice, and all that beautiful things, which you can't really say that you value if you're gonna pay against it, right? Anyway, thank you so much everybody for being here. Yeah, my battery's at it again. I think I have to change this cable. I think I have to stop using this. Thank you so much for being there. JG, please stop being condescending, calling me chippy. I don't think I consented to you being calling me chippy, but whatever. And said, if you need supplements, it's not a good diet. JG, yes it is. It doesn't mean anything. Needing supplements doesn't mean anything. And it is not a diet. You're right. It's not a diet. You know why? Because being vegan literally means it's a moral position. It's a moral position of rejecting animal exploitation. If you reject animal exploitation, if you say animal exploitation is wrong, you just want to live up to that. You can't say animal exploitation is wrong and then turn it around and paying for animals to be exploited, because that would be hypocritical and that would be ridiculous. And we don't want to be hypocritical. All we want to live is up to our own values, okay? So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for the super chats for whoever has donated. Thank you for the moderators for taking care of the chat, for you know, silencing who needed to be silenced. And thank you for everybody who's vegan, who has been in the chat, who has been active. I saw a lot of you have done that, and I appreciate that. Thank you for everybody who's been here throughout all of it. You know, I like to go on the street and do this kind of stuff also because I enjoy coming and interacting with people in the chat, you know. So thank you so much for being there. And JG, you looked bad day to day, says JG. I'm sorry, but I don't. Your opinion means nothing to me, man. Your opinion, JG, means absolutely nothing. So, but I appreciate you being here, and I hope you're subscribing. And I hope that for everybody else who's not subscribed, I hope you're subscribing. And I will see you in the next one. Anything else you have in the footer of the video, in the description of this video, and I recommend, if you're not vegan, I recommend you watch the 3-minute video. It's literally 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 180 seconds, that is. You just gotta click on a video and watch that. That's it. And maybe that will be the start of you getting informed. Maybe that will be the start of your new life. Or maybe that will mean nothing to you. Whatever it is, you lose 3 minutes of your life. I'm sure that you probably sometimes spare way more time looking up and down these, okay? So give that a watch. Maybe watch the Dominion. You also have it in the footer. Watch the most important speech you'll ever hear. You have all the resources there. So give that a watch and come back here, have conversations with everybody in the chat. We are all absolutely willing to have conversations with you. We are willing to help you change, but you also gotta want it. Otherwise, if we go back and forth with these conversations where we say, why don't you go vegan? Why don't you? Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? These means nothing. These mean nothing. We can do this to the end of time. But at some point, you gotta understand, you gotta accept some different arguments. You gotta look into it and you gotta think for yourself, okay? So please think for yourself and go vegan. And for all those vegans, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you doing activism in the chat. I know we're all a team. And if you want to do activism on your own, I highly encourage you to do so. There's We the Free, there's AV, there's a lot of other groups. And if you want to do it like I do it on the street, you can also do that. It also works. Either way, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having an awesome day. Been on a really long rant so far, but I appreciate you, each and everyone, for being here. Have an awesome day, everybody. I'll see you next time.